Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Welcome to another Sunday night episode of the Bullpen. Simulcasting actually tonight on Mad's channel. Let's get Mad in here because we
That's right, and
decided to
that's
try to
why
change it.
and on my channel, we don't let comics or that woman on. That's why we just kick both of them off.
Yeah, Comics is starting his new job tomorrow, so he didn't want to maybe stay up too late doing the Bullpen, so he's taking the week off. Maybe a couple weeks, we'll see.
Okay, it could have
And
been that instead. Who knows?
good luck on the new job. So instead, you get the original host and Mad.
Yep, and Chad.
really, man? You really?
You really want to go there?
You really?
What, man?
Who
I
runs
know
the
my
show when
truth.
he's not here?
I know my truth.
Hey, chat, send in the super chats if you believe, Mad, and buy memberships if you
Yeah.
don't.
But if you don't believe Mad, then make sure that you go to my channel and add that to the tip jar.
And here's how you know that Mad is not an original co-host, because he never would have authorized the yeah as super chat rewards.
It's not allowed on mine.
It's going to be interesting seeing you try to stop it.
Wow, I'll do it.
Speaking of memberships,
Way to go, New York Knicks. We're going to be playing the Spurs. Is that what we're talking about? Did you see Kathy Hochul absolutely embarrass herself?
Which time?
What? Yeah, are you talking about
with the New York? All right, so with the Knicks being in the championship.
Oh, about the year and
yeah.
Trump.
So Trump's going to go see one of the games because he's a huge Knicks fan, been a Knicks fan his whole life. And so a reporter asked Hochul about it, and she was like, "If he's just a poser."
Yeah.
Bear in mind that there's footage of him fucking sitting at Knicks games for 40
catching
years.
A player. And,
Yeah.
and she had the audacity to like, I bet he couldn't name a single player from
She said the 1993 championship team, to which all of us Knicks fans were like, "You cunt." There is no 1993 championship team. Perhaps you mean the 1994 team that lost to the Houston Rockets in 7 games because Bricklayer Mason couldn't hit free throws to save his
I
life.
remember that, dude, because my stepdad, he fucking loved the Rockets. And I remember him going outside and just shooting the shotgun in the air. Mind you, we live in the middle of nowhere. I don't know.
Did he start doing the Allah Akbar like thing while he was doing it? La la la, like
I was so young. I barely remember
so
it.
angry.
Yeah. So.
But last night, by the way, I asked Soul Assassin in the chat. I'm like, hey man, did the Spurs end up winning? And as soon as I said it, I could hear people honking outside. I'm like, oh, never mind, I got it. But I'm on the nice area. That was all it was.
It's so Hochul is now looks like as always, she's
the poser.
She's borderline frittata.
Yeah.
And I mean it's a joke. I mean New York politics are such a joke.
I told you about how Vanilla Ice ripped off your Knicks song too, right? Because y'all used to do the Go New York, Go.
For the Go Ninja, Go.
Yeah, exactly. He has never had an original song.
I mean, he's been pretty successful with the ones that he ripped off.
Right? Oh, no, yeah, all for it. I don't have a problem with sampling whatsoever. But when you're like, no, it's not sampling, when I add in a
dun, 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 little change, completely different.
I think one of the
hangs you by the ankles, and you sign over the rights to it anyway. So, man,
I think Birdman and them did the best when they did Gilligan's Island for Still Fly.
Mm-hmm.
Brahma, come on, man, bro.
You've lost me on that one. Which thing?
Still Fly, gator boots,
No, I don't.
And I'm still fly. No, nothing?
No. No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. Hey, I gifted out 5 Brahmabull memberships.
So Brahma is the one saying that he knows who what's up.
No, it's just the last day of the month, and I wanted to make sure I get out my allotment of 10 because
okay,
it resets. I didn't even know you could do it until this month.
That's cool. Yeah. Eventually, when we're monetized, we'll do that on our channel.
No, you won't. You'll be like, you're paying for it. You're not getting any gifts from the channel. I know you and your grift.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, have you guys checked in on Newark this week?
Oh, I mean, that's a show. I did appreciate that Mickey Sherrill, the governor, who had a crazy 3 a.m. ballot dump on her side to get into that governor's mansion, did a victory lap today about how the facility restored visitation rights for family and lawyers when the only reason that they had to suspend it was because of the goddamn rioters that the New Jersey police were not handling. So it's a joke. I mean, do we have? Yeah, I think we got some footage now.
Tonight's the first night of the curfew.
Yep.
So this is what is currently happening about 30, 40 minutes. Well, it's about 20 minutes before the curfew is supposed to take place, which was what, an hour and 10 minutes ago now, I think. Was it a 7 o'clock curfew or was it a 6 o'clock curfew?
It's
I don't know.
10:11 now, so it's
okay. Maybe it was at 8 o'clock
curfewed for a while. I mean, Sorter should probably have the most recent updates.
Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of it, but this is the medics saying, "Yeah, we're pulling out."
Oh, we need to.
So
get
let
out.
me bring it in. And then everybody whining that they're being abandoned by their medics.
Oh, we need to get out. You understand me? We made our point. If you're willing to stay, thank you, but please don't risk your life. We could come back tomorrow.
Can you
we
pause
can
it
come
for a
back any
second?
other day. You understand what I'm saying?
I really appreciate the handmade red duct tape crosses, along with the like Palestinian and whatever other flag
For their medics.
paraphernalia she's putting on.
Yeah, the Green and Red Coalition.
Yeah, I mean, can
Communist and Islamists. The perfect mix on the left.
These people
you
are
know
not
we didn't have
fucking
this problem in the 1950s. They would have already been like being tried by a military tribunal.
Right?
around. This is not a fucking game. There are horses coming up too as well.
Horses?
They're coming up right now. Let's go. Get
horses.
out.
Where are these horses? Are they coming?
Wrap it up, my crew of medics. Let's go.
How does he gain this position of power?
I got word that they're locking people up tonight.
I'm just gonna guess by some of the DEI.
You're telling me there's not
stuff
one person that had
available?
there wasn't one person that had a one more check mark than she does?
You don't know if it's a she. It could be a dude pretending to be a she.
All right,
or
you know
it could
what?
be a
That's fair.
lesbian. I mean, there's so many check boxes she could check that we.
You're
just
right.
can't
I retract my
verify.
last one.
They them zer over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Is clearly.
Maybe Zim is the most qualified.
At 9 o'clock, we got 20 minutes to get the fuck out of here. Get out. I'm not leaving my
Those
medical.
believe me eyes.
And she's talking to a group of like 6 people while everybody's just spread out everywhere. Also, credit Freedom News TV for
Everybody
this
out.
footage.
If you stay,
wait, do
we're
we
not
know
gonna
them? Do
have
we
a
like them?
medic. I'm moving my medics out of
Well,
here.
they
Okay?
record stuff like
Out.
this and put it on Twitter so we can use
We're
it.
leaving. We're leaving. We're out that
All
way.
right, let's just make sure. I'm not gonna give
Yeah.
credit to people I don't know or don't like.
So, yeah, that was a little bit ago. Let's look in at how it's going now.
The curfew takes effect in 30 minutes, 9 p.m. and remains until
Well, this is
effect
still
until 6
before the
p.m.
curfew went in. This is
Yeah.
cops getting ready.
So, all members of the media must leave the place. They're verified
It's a little jumpy for me, man.
municipal ordinance or state law.
And this is from Nick Sordor.
A las 9 p.m. en la noche.
It's a little choppy, but it's workable.
Yeah, yeah.
Cell phone video.
Ugh, I could you imagine that being your eyes every day like a woman? That's how you see things.
I appreciate that they're professional enough to flip that thing landscape, by the way.
Right?
Good for them.
This is rocks and blocks of wood being thrown at the horses.
Oh, so she wasn't bullshitting about the horses. I'm sorry. the level of retardation you got to have. Like, no, I can take this horse on.
Right.
Oh, they are.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Barely could
unpack
hear
the-
you say that through your mask.
Yeah, let's unpack.
I'm just going to mute it and let stuff play in the background.
Yeah, calling the mounted police who are pushing your entire group off of a zone cowards. Like, in what context are they a coward?
By the way, how are they the good guys? They're throwing fucking 2x4s at horses.
No, trust us. They're the good guys.
How is there nobody like, whoa, look, guys, I know we hate, ACAP all day, right? But the horses, they didn't do anything.
You
Exactly.
See that guy trip over the barrier.
Horse lives matter.
I think in a lot of places that have mounted
You
police.
see the 2x4 get tossed at him?
Yep.
Oh, here, I'll get rid of this so we can see it.
Mad, maybe you can confirm, but it's considered assaulting an officer, right? If they mess with the animal.
Fuck yeah, bro.
A canine or a horse.
Yeah, so they could be
Yeah.
brought up on like felony.
Right? Guess what a jury won't do? They're like, look, we hate cops, but I mean that's a horse and he's adorable. Why did you throw stuff at him? No, you'll be found guilty every time. Dude. I think they need to put in a grill for the horses so that they can bite too. You know what I
Right.
mean? I mean, they can bite, but
Okay, so the important part of this one is the audio because of what their chant is. So let me.
By the way, let them try that shit
it.
in Austin to one of those horses. I don't know if y'all have ever been in Austin when they bring the horses out.
No,
They don't give a
only
fuck.
Fort Worth. It's starting to seem like they're not just anti-ICE, they're just anti-American.
I don't think they've been hiding that.
I know.
Hey, Andy. They need to stop horsing around, oh boy. If I can make one suggestion for them, before you don't
Showers.
don't freestyle your chants. Maybe run it through Grok. But like, hey, can you punch up this chant I had planned for tonight at a ICE facility protest? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just make
I
it
thought there
catchy.
was one more. I mean, there's plenty of stuff going on tonight. Nick's probably going to be putting it out there all evening, but I gathered some stuff from earlier in the week. We've got the one from the beginning of the week where the reason that ICE is still wearing masks.
I'll kill your whole fucking family?
Because they got a mask off of one of the ICE officers.
Is that some cartel threat right there?
Yo, what the fuck? Where's...
So,
Can you
update
pause
to
it?
this. That's done in like 2 seconds.
I was
hold
about to
on,
say,
hold
that's
on.
where,
Before we get the update.
Rubber bullets to the nuts should have been going off.
You know what it
right
reminds me of? Is when your quarterback gets fucking nailed after way late and none of the offensive line goes to mess that dude up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you hear someone say you're fucking dead to your bro, yo, I'm going hands on. You ain't even got to. I got this one, bro.
Look,
Well,
that's
Nick,
why I have a toss
we don't
away.
need to talk about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens at this point.
Nick turned over the footage directly to the FBI, and Cash had him arrested within a day.
Nice, dude. That dude would have been covered in so much crack
So-
sprinkles if it was me.
Just to pour a little cold water on that. If the FBI genuinely wanted to get them, we know what they're capable of doing. They tracked down January 6ers using the metadata of people's phones to triangulate who was there, chased them for years. But somehow Antifa is able to operate with impunity, throwing blocks of concrete at federal officers. They're showing up in force. They're pre-positioning, all these weapons and tools, and we're like, oh, it's crazy how the FBI is just not able to get these guys. Just like the FBI just can't do anything to track down who's in that Patriot Front, which leads you to the valid conclusion that they are operating with the tacit approval of the FBI because they're not doing anything to actually stop
Man,
them from
dude,
operating.
that technology did not exist before January 7th. Of that, that's why they didn't have that capability during the Summer of Love. Come on, man.
No, what I'm talking about is right now. Like this is not the first time these people have been going to ICE facilities to do these protests and shutting it down. They've been doing. I mean, look in Minnesota before before anybody was shot, they were shutting down and like protesting at the points of detention, the detention center. So why is it that they couldn't? What is the FBI waiting for? This is obviously a RICO ready group. You can get them for racketeering and start spreading those charges around. You can charge the people who are financing them. Even if the charges don't hold up, if you jam them up and make them have to go to court and get lawyers and actually spend money defending it, it impacts the operation and shuts it down for or at least limits it, and they're not doing any of that. So a show arrest of one person is meaningless. They should be doing there's no reason at this point in the game. These Antifa protests have been going on at these sites for well over a year now. Why aren't we doing anything like that? That's the question I have.
Sure. But I'm glad that guy got arrested.
I know. I mean, but that's what I mean. But it's just like Bongino going out there now that he's back to being a talking head, where he's like, I get, look at all this crazy. It's like, you mother effer, you were there. You were the deputy director of the FBI. Why? It's amazing how nobody could do anything, huh? Like you didn't have any authority to order investigations. You know that they can arrest you for lying to an FBI agent. It's a charge. That's how they got Martha Stewart. That's how they tried to get General Flynn, was using a process crime where you lied to a federal agent and they said that it was material facts related to the investigation. So if you lie about what they determined to be a material fact, you can get brought up on felony charges and go to jail for years. So why don't do that? Use all that shit at your disposal, and they're not doing any of that, which again makes me think that by and large, the rank and file of the FBI is on the same side as these people.
There's another thing it could be. The optics of how batshit crazy the left has gotten keeps getting shown every time they're doing.
But that's not
like
good.
This.
No, but that's not good optics. Like showing that you are getting your police, your people enforcing immigration are getting their facilities like shut down and harassed and like attacked, and then not doing anything about it is not a good optic. It's not from a 4D warfare, like information warfare strategy. You're just presenting an image of weakness where you're saying, hey, we're going to just keep getting our ass handed to us and not do anything about it.
I am trying to find the latest one. Oh, and Roman of the Empire asked me a question earlier. I forgot to go back and answer it. Yes, my plan is to be in Vegas for the meetup. I believe it is August 6th.
Oh, bro, why do y'all do this? Let's go to a desert in August. Fuck mad. We never want him to come.
Who's the you all? There's one person that plans this.
Who's that?
Melissa and Gary. I guess it's two people. Probably Melissa's planning it. Gary just says where.
I have met her multiple times, and every time I do, she has no clue who I am. I'm like, okay, we'll do it again.
Every time.
And I blame that 100% on Gary. No, comics, because he never lets me. No, because comics never lets me split screen with him. That's why he's banned tonight.
That's why he's banned. This was from the aftermath of last night. So look at the sheer amount of supplies that they have on scene.
Oh, damn it! I was gonna make a joke about this, but Chad went on too long. Yeah, did you see the thing where it just a random drop $1,000 worth of like medical supplies and shit?
Yeah, eye wash,
Yeah.
bottles of water. There was a whole bunch of. I saw one guy walking around today through their tents, and he's like, "Ooh, lasagna!" They've just got a whole table full of like lasagnas and stuff for everybody to just sit there and eat.
By the way, one of the best ideas I've heard in a long time was for all SNAP and EBT benefits to be converted to MREs.
Right.
Oh, that's a
Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, where they're like,
Make them want to get off of them.
yeah, like, hey, you can't
that probably
complain.
would make that would actually may cost the country more money than what they spend now. That shit ain't cheap.
No, I mean,
doesn't need to be of the quality that the military gets to eat.
they're allowed to use their SNAP and EBT on like ribeye steaks and things.
Right,
so-
but the product, like how much it costs to make the MREs, and I guess technically you only need one a day. But I don't know. Like I get the point of it, but I'm like, I don't know if that would be cost effective.
So again, this leads us to the question of when are they going to figure out who's funding it and actually do anything?
Oh, I don't know. I was going to say that maybe with the EBT stuff, we could start dropping it, like airdropping it, like what they're doing there.
Right. In other fiery places, has anybody figured out what the hell is going on in Paris?
Wait, there's
Is
something
anybody
happening in
paying
Paris?
attention? Paris is
Why
just
the-
burning.
I know. So here's
it was originally connected to the soccer game, and everybody was like, "Oh, there's just hooligans being hooligans," and then there's just a whole bunch of looks like immigrants, burning everything, like at the base of the Eiffel Tower, and shouting "Allahu Akbar."
So here's what's happening. A lot of polling has the Le Pen, group ready to trounce the other stuff in the presidential elections. So we need to go into and drum up some kind of rioting so we can ban their political party.
And we're just using the soccer game as a cover.
Yeah, 100%.
I really should have paid attention so I could know if I'm agreeing with what he just said or not.
Here's what Paris looked like. I believe it was last night.
And this is different from any other day because but all of us seen from there.
Well, some of them were wearing soccer jerseys. That's what.
Oh, okay, fair. Do the French do that pussy shit like England where they have to call in people with guns? Like they have designated shooters?
SWAT, because
Not SWAT, no. In England, it's only certain police that actually carry guns, but the majority of them do not.
so that was the Eiffel Tower last night.
Yeah.
Check 1, check 2. Is this working?
Yes, we were hearing you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Normally, you guys answer questions.
Yes, you are correct that in England most of the
No, the question was,
I
do they
don't
do
know
that
if
in
that's the case
France?
In France. Likely.
I think it's the same standard where the average police officer isn't armed. Because that was, I think, an issue when you remember years back with the Charlie Hebdo assault, that it took a little while to get officers that actually had firearms on scene to deal with it.
Well, there was also the. It was separate from the Charlie Hebdo. It was the concert. Wasn't that also in France?
No,
It was the heavy metal band from the American band that they went in and started shooting everybody up.
I don't know. The most successful counterterrorism thing that's happened in France in the last 20 years was randomly when some Marines were on a train and took people out.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood did a movie about it that I
And
skipped.
it was really good, actually.
Was the movie good?
Yeah, it was. Oh, and did we get that super chat that came in?
We have not yet.
Nor will we until it's on my channel.
Let me go back and grab those because I think we also got a member chat. Dead Man for $4.99. Even if you don't like the source, you should always give credit where credit is due. That's to you, Matt.
Strong disagree. If I can't benefit from it, why would I do it? Chat, why should you donate or to charity if you can't tell if like you can't tell people about it? Right?
No? And
What,
Dan,
I think that was
celebrating 11
Denim.
months of membership. Hail to the Bullpen Nation.
For those that may not know, I'm pretty sure Denim, the Twitch streamer, said something very to that effect. That like, why would I donate to charity if no one knows that I did it?
Well, here's one for
All hail the bullpen.
Ha, you had boobs on your channel, Mad.
No, bro, they don't show up. I have them blocked. I have a anti-boob filter on my channel. Can't even get them on.
We'll do one for Dan as well for 11 months of membership.
The bullpen thanks you for giving that. I need more.
Well, I don't like her being so loud.
So yeah, France is on fire. I saw
you could be modded over on my channel. Just saying.
That's probably where he is.
No, he's not.
Oh, I don't know. France is on fire. Newark's on fire. Jeff Bezos's ship is also on fire. I've got to go find the actual Elon tweet.
Yeah, Brahma, did you hear Elon's? Did you see Elon's tweet about that?
It was fantastic.
It's fantastic, bro. I thought I shared it with you.
Mm-hmm. Let me pull up the video of the explosion. I'm sure everybody's already seen it at this point. It's a big explosion.
Yeah. I saw somebody that for scale they did an overlay of the ship so that you could see the size of the ship within the explosion to see how massive it was.
Pretty huge. Or the ship looks very, very small.
That is yet another thing that I wouldn't do. That's how white people get killed. You know what I mean? Don't go in space. There ain't nothing up there for us yet.
Let me see if I can find Elon's tweet. So Elon retweeted the video of it exploding, and his response was freaking perfect. But Bookmarks is doing that stupid thing where it decides, oh, you wanted to scroll back through things in the order that they happened? Let's just change up the order so that you can't find anything because suddenly you'll be a year back rather than just a week back. Can't be much further. There it is. Elon Musk responded, most unfortunate. Rockets are hard. Perfect response. The guy who's trying to take some of his government contracts away. Jeff Bezos has his rocket explode. Rockets are hard.
All right.
You got a super chat out there.
No, I was busy looking through those tweets.
Here.
The Dead Man for $4.99 says, the whole point of charity, at least for me, is that nobody knows about it. Otherwise, you're just virtue signaling.
Again, I'm not virtue signaling. I'm not going to donate to charity. Are you kidding me? Also, didn't you just virtue signal? The whole point of charity, at least for me, is that nobody knows. Well, we know about it now.
This doesn't feel like it's charity giving me $4.99. It feels well earned.
You want to hear me say something smart for once? The bullpen is awesome.
And then Deeple celebrates 5 months of membership. I don't have anything important to say, just yeah. But I am enjoying the schadenfreude of the UK media going crazy with all the Henry Nowak. Thank you.
Chad loves the Ottoman Empire, Brahma is an Islamophobiast, and comics is the smartest 5'10" midget ever.
Chad, didn't we have something with the Supreme Court at the beginning of the week?
Like 9-0 decisions that have been coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything important?
Um,
I usually let you sift through the Supreme Court.
I'm looking back at what came out. I mean, we got some smackdowns on some other Trump stuff going back, about but nothing that. The problem is the Supreme Court is they keep doing these eventual smackdowns, but then the lower courts are just ignoring them and trying to pretend like they don't have it. We're nearing this week. We should be getting one where out of Alabama, some groups had filed lawsuits against them doing their redistricting.
Right.
And the district level basically said, yeah, you can't do that because that would be taking away minority representation. And this decision was done after
the racial districting.
Yeah, after that. So the Alabama immediately appealed up to the Supreme Court, and the justice who oversees the district of the country that Alabama's in is Clarence Thomas. Instead of immediately overturning the injunction, he's asked for briefing from both parties to explain why, in light of Callus, which is the decision that just came out, why in God's name you are actually blocking this. And from
what part of this did you guys not understand?
It's due by Monday. It's due by tomorrow, and then he's going to be issuing his decision. A lot of people are thinking he's doing that just to cover his bases, to knock that down when it comes out. But it's nothing crazy. We're still sitting on the birthright citizenship case, which is the big one. That's the one that we all want to look for. They did rule in that middlemen companies that for this is important for in light of the CDLs going to the illegals.
Right.
The Supreme Court unanimously determined that yes, the companies that are booking these drivers as middlemen as third parties between they're not they don't work for Walmart directly. They're like a third party company that provides drivers. They're the contracting group, that they can be held liable and sued when there's accidents, which is going to
within hours of that ruling.
Yeah.
All the people with CDLs that are not here legally were already saying, yeah, they told us they're not going to give us jobs anymore.
Yeah.
So that had the intended effect and opens up more jobs for American truckers.
Because here's a fun thing about liability with bankruptcy, because a lot of people think, oh, I can get out of my liability if I declare bankruptcy. If you are shown to knowingly commit a tort, the basis for a lawsuit, if that's part of the decision, that is not something you can discharge through bankruptcy. You are going to be you're on the hook for it no matter what. You're going to be forever on the hook for it. So, some people think, oh, I set it up through my LLC and it's going to be, nope, they'll be able to hold you individually responsible and go after you directly. It's kind of like when a police officer has their qualified immunity revoked, they can then be sued on an individual basis personally. So this decision kind of opens the door for that too. So that's probably in terms of long-term consequences, that's the most. It's weird how these decisions that don't even really make ripples in the news can do that, but I think that one's going to be a meaningful one.
Yeah, I did see that one when they released it, and thought that was pretty interesting because I saw a few videos on it, and specifically like talking to some of the drivers, and they were like, "Yeah, we're screwed." It's like, oh, too bad. Because now they'll actually have to hire drivers that are American with CDLs, and those guys get paid. And as long as you're doing that, then you really don't have to worry about your middleman company being sued, because if you're following the law, it's fine. There just wasn't a lot that happened this week. It felt like, I mean,
Well, there was a
did it
lot that
feel the same
happened.
to you?
There's a lot that happened in Maine,
Yeah.
which is, I swear, I know Susan Collins' team was sitting on this opposition research the entire time. And as
Well,
soon
the
as
funny thing is, some of it is actually self-reporting by the Plattner.
yeah, because Graham Plattner's wife was the one who now is the one who's like, oh yeah, he was sexting all these women, like possibly underage,
Up
and
to 12 or 15 different women while they were married.
yeah. Now here's
Do we like this guy though?
no.
This is the
So-
guy with the Nazi tattoo in Maine, running for Senate.
So he's running. He drapes himself in this fake like I'm authentic Maine.
Oh,
ju-
he's the one that didn't realize it was a Nazi tattoo. He's like, how would I know?
because it's the SS logo, and you don't get that one by
Totenkopf?
accident.
Yeah.
Just like, come on, man.
Only had
here's-
it for 18 years and finally got rid of it in October of last year when we all called him out over having it. And
Yeah.
yeah.
To set the table for you, Mad, he enlisted in 2000. I think it was 2004 initially with
Okay.
the Marines. So the Iraq War had been going on well over a year. We'd been in Afghanistan for at that point about 3 years. He enlisted, and he wrote about it on Reddit because they've got his entire Reddit history, which is another thing that this guy
The account is still active.
and the account
and
is still
live.
active. And so on Reddit, he said, I joined up because I wanted to kill some people. I did. It was a good time had by all. Like,
Man, I've never heard a lie so easily detected.
but then after he enlisted in his he did 2 tours. He tried to re-enlist. The Marines were like, nope, we don't want it. This is how bad he is.
You're a
The
psycho.
Marines were like, nope, we are not letting you come back. In the middle of the Iraq War, they're telling this is with
What was his
stop loss and
MOS?
all. He was just infantry.
And he deployed to where, Iraq or Afghanistan?
Iraq.
In what year?
He was there
08, I think.
2004 through 2007 or 8.
Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. So they do normally Marines. They do like 6 months. Their tours 6 months.
No, we're just saying that's when he was in.
He was in, but he did multiple tours.
Right.
Within
Do we know how many and when?
Within his enlistment.
I'm
I'd have
sure
to go back
somebody
and
knows. I don't
but
know
after
off the
he
top of
got
my
kicked
head.
out of the Marines, he joined Blackwater to go back and be private.
That's fucking good money, bro.
I know, but here's the point. Now he's made a point in his campaign. He's campaigning on how he was sent to forever wars by these politicians. And
When he volunteered for them after
and
the war.
like he's trying to he's trying to be like I was an average grunt who had no say and I was just a pawn of the politicians. It's a little disingenuous when you're
changing
writing
his
about
history.
how for years up until he was running for Senate there's all these posts where he's like I genuinely wanted to go there to kill people and I did and I was happy about it and that's why I went back with Blackwater and did it some more.
You know who, on average, who normally doesn't say shit like that? People that have actually done it. 2, this is the only thing I'm going to defend him on. When he joined in 2004, I doubt he, just like me, we did not know it was going to be a forever war. You get what I'm saying? So
No, he specifically joined 2 years after it started.
so did I. I didn't know I was joining a forever war. Did you know it was a forever war in 2004?
Were you signing up so that you could just go kill people?
I signed up.
The t-shirt never came.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
never
so
got his
both of us
t-shirt.
failed in in our
Your
goals.
reasons for
Yeah.
for going.
That's all I was saying, though. No,
Disappointing on multiple levels.
I don't think any of us that were joining at that time thought of it as being a forever war.
Okay. I mean, 2 years in, it's starting to feel pretty forever at that point.
I feel like we have different definitions of forever
compared to the shock and awe that it started with. But yeah, Graham's got some more issues.
2004 would be under 2 years.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact timeline.
2003 was the invasion.
So they also have found, so he's made some comments on Reddit. So stuff like, anytime he sees a porta potty, he feels the need to go masturbate in it. He once had phone sex on a network compromised by the Taliban, and he cried over the closure of Thailand prostitution tax loopholes. So all of that, in conjunction with his Nazi tattoo, the Totenkopf that was on his chest, this account is still active. Everybody does know that it is him. It is P Hustle 0331. So then it turns out he's also still has a Kick account where they've had a whole bunch of problems with guys doing a whole bunch of exploiting of children on there, and he's still got it active even though he's been told. And the campaign basically said, oh no, he deleted it off of his phone, but he didn't get rid of the account. So he's got some problems going on, as well as the problems with his wife, which his campaign actually put out, not the Republican side. I think the link was right there. Where did it just go? There. So yeah, a whole bunch of things leaked out about how he had been sexually explicitly texting with up to 12 to 14 other women, I think.
Wait, did I miss this while I was talking to people in my chat? Did you really say he once had phone sex on a network controlled by the Taliban?
Yes.
And that's what he said in his Reddit
Holy
post.
shit.
Yeah.
He said it. Never mind. I don't believe it. This guy has lost all credibility. Everything he says, my initial reaction is not to believe him.
What's hilarious is he actually sounds just like Jesse Ventura. Like my tone and my voice and my vocal pattern is all, and so all I hear is Jesse Ventura saying, like stupid shit coming out of his mouth.
Did you hear the latest one about Chris Kyle and Plattner?
Oh wait, did Plattner say something about?
Yeah, I outshot him on the range.
Yeah.
Wait, did he really?
No. What he said was, well, you don't get numbers like that without just shooting people like willy-nilly, not really planning out things, and then you start taking out civilians, that kind of stuff. So he's basically saying the American sniper, Chris Kyle, was just picking off civilians to get his numbers up.
Bro, we don't okay, cool. I get, padding your KDR, but they usually they usually frown upon that.
Yeah.
And two, has he ever said anything with he needs to take a beat before he talks. Should I say this? What would other people think that I mean? You know what I mean? Just a beat.
You would think, but this is seemingly where the Democrat Party wants to go. I mean, look at Jones last year, the guy who said he wanted his opponent's kids dead. They elected him, no problem. That's in Chad's neck of the woods.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's his attorney general right now.
Oh, yeah, Jay Jones, the guy who can't even spell the word senator.
Or Virginia.
When he's making appeals to the Supreme Court of the United States.
Yeah. I thought
what I find the worst part of that isn't that he misspelled it, is that they didn't check if there were for grammar or misspell. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I misspell shit all the time. Because in my head, I have a very thick East Texas accent. So when I'm trying to sound things out, but that doesn't translate to the actual word. Like, autocorrect, they'll give up on me. I'm like, how about you try a different word? Because they struggle trying to figure out what I'm trying to say.
That's when you go plug in what you have typed, copy and paste it into a browser to
Exactly.
see what it tries to pop up.
Yep. My point being, the most concerning thing is that nobody bothered to do a check.
Especially sending it to the Supreme Court of the United States. Sean Estep comes in huge with 10 Brahmabull memberships. Thank you very much, Sean. Good to see
Oh,
you.
no. Sean, you're lost, bro. We're over here.
The memberships are really, remember, memberships are the ones that are pressing X to doubt on Mad's status. So
Thank you so much.
Every now and then we've just got to smack Chad on the nose and be like, no, Chad.
you know,
clip comes
Mad started talking before I did, so I thought you were delaying it.
I was just trying to get to the clip.
Yeah. By the way, all right. So back to Platner. The latest giant revelation is the sexting all these women, and the way this came to light was because his wife had brought them to the campaign. All these text messages he had been sending women, because she was like, you guys should know about it to make sure you're prepared and you vetted everything. And the campaign decided, well, the only people who've got the messages are just his wife and him, and they're working through it. It's a private matter, so we should be good. What they didn't count on was one of the top campaign aides from early in the campaign quitting in disgust over Platner as a candidate once all his stuff came out, and going to the New York Times with all of it. And basically just blowing this up now too.
And then the wife is like, I'm really upset with the campaign aide
for gossiping.
Because I mean, we went to counseling. This is in our past.
They've been married 2 years.
Yep, but they went to counseling.
I mean, I don't think this bodes well for their strong, stable marriage.
Right.
Hey, Matt,
it just depends on how into Nazis she is.
Do you think that if one of your bros was like, all right, I've been with my wife now 2 years, how's it going? I'm just constantly sexting other women, but I think our marriage foundation is strong. Would you actually be like, bro, I think you've got problems?
Okay, I'm going to need you to repeat it because I was helping a bro out actually as you were talking about that.
All right. Your bro has been married for approximately 2 years. And
Cool,
you ask your bro, how's your marriage going? And the bro's like, oh, it's great. I'm just sexting women all the time.
I mean,
that aren't my wife.
This is a good start. Yeah. Also, that's a weird way to respond to that, my guy. Like,
Yeah. Well, this is Graham Platner, so that is something he would
again,
just throw out of his
everything
mouth.
he says sounds so. It all sounds like bullshit.
I love some of the responses from some of the Democrats, though. It's no one's effing business what happened in Graham and Amy's marriage before he was even ever a candidate for office. There should be no place in our politics for incompetent, opportunistic operatives who violate privacy, betray trust, and prioritize vengeance over decency. That's not the story they've been telling for this whole time that Trump has been in politics. Everything is Stormy Daniels, Stormy Daniels, Stormy Daniels.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her. Is he still alive?
She got hit hard
heavy
by TDS, and it has not done well for her looks.
Oh,
last
man.
I heard, she was actually doing the stripper.
She got hit by that TDS for a
tour.
second time, huh?
Yep. I get that reference. So yeah, the Dems are in meltdown because his campaign is just collapsing in on itself. But he's the Democrat, so chances are he's going to still get all the Democrat votes, and I still expect Collins will easily beat him.
Oh yeah, the Red Queen of the North, until she's dethroned, should be considered the favorite.
But here's the thing to take from this, for me, I guess, is this is who they thought they should run in one of the seats that they thought was we might be able to actually flip this seat from Collins. Like, this isn't a safe blue. This has been a, leans red just for that politician, Susan Collins. She's the only Republican basically out of New England in that position. And she is pro abortion. She is a very left leaning Republican. But they thought, here's what we'll do. We'll throw up the guy with the Nazi tattoos that has every problem you could possibly have. And that's what we're going to do to try to flip one of the seats that possibly could have been flipped with a normal candidate.
Here's a fun, this is a current tweet about the Plattner thing. It says, last tweet on Plattner, I hope he wins because politically he has views I agree with and he seems to be someone who can win Maine voters. But it does seem bad there are now over 10 women with explicit screenshot text messages on their phone from Plattner. It's like this is like what Swalwell, remember, it started out like, oh no, it's nothing, it's not, oh yeah, he was like doing really bad things.
But the thing is, this is the exact seat where you would run the most moderate blah Democrat
Janet Mills
and try to win it. Yeah.
You mean the popular current governor of the state?
Yep.
Yeah.
But why would we do that? The Democrat Party has a problem. Not that we want to help them fix it, but I mean, they just had, the other autopsy come out about the elections. And it's like they really don't know how to learn anything from the past. They think, okay, we're just going to keep going further and further left and more progressive, and that's how we're going to start winning things back. That was not what the story was at all.
For people who haven't seen it, Mad, this is for you too. This is what his account looks like. It's still currently active on Kick. And that's his like user profile photo.
I guarantee it's identical to his Plenty of Fish account.
I mean, P Hustle.
And Kick is nicknamed the Predator's Paradise.
Yeah, he's going on Kick to try to get, well, allegedly, in my opinion, you would be going on Kick to try to, get the younger
Andy.
ladies.
Fucking Andy.
Oh no.
Oh. I just looking between the chats, mine has a different flavor about it.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So that's Plattner, unless you've got anything else on him that you wanted to hit up.
No, I think
we went over a lot of this in October about the tattoo and everything.
We knew the other stuff, but I'm just gonna say, I think there was a lot of rumblings by a lot of insider people down here in Northern Virginia that just wait, we've got so much shit on Plattner. We are overjoyed that he is. They laid off him on purpose. They when that stuff came out on Reddit and just the Reddit post, they didn't want to make a big deal of it because they apparently have mountains and mountains of other shit on him that they are just going to just drip feed out through the entire election season.
Kind of like what the plan was for Swalwell, but then the Democrats apparently decided to stab him in the back, so everything came out early.
Yeah. So was Plattner on Kick?
What about Plattner on Kick?
He comes out early.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing with politics now, I don't think you can wait for an October surprise because we vote for so freaking long.
No, that's why
you better start getting everything out as quickly as you can.
Now, I do agree with you. Don't put it all out at once, because then people can. It's like so you can kind of move on from it. What you want to do is you want to kind of drip feed a constant feed of the of like every other week something new. Because what you want to create in the independent, because it's the independent voters, right? People who are vote blue no matter what or vote red no matter what. That's not who you're going to have to worry about. It's that persuadable middle. You want them to now associate that candidate with just that constant stream of negative story, because it reinforces, well, this guy's just the biggest douchebag in the world. And Susan Collins is the chairman of the Appropriations Committee. We'd probably better off with her than going with giant D-bag and losing seniority for Maine. So
Plus, she is just as likely to side with a Trump legislation as she is with a Biden legislation. She voted for all this stuff under Biden for the infrastructure bill, all that stuff, but she also votes for the big beautiful bill. So, there's if you're an independent, especially, there's really nothing that she's doing that is not. I mean, she's not obstructionist to either party, even though she calls herself a Republican. So,
so yeah,
what's the point of getting rid of her?
So here's this is Nate Silver commenting on it now. Like I'm just gonna throw this one out there because it's kind of the same concept where his post is, I don't know, I guess Plattner is still the favorite, but there's a tipping point between quote this guy's a little rough around the edges and maybe that's what makes him authentic versus this guy's toxic and just a bad dude. And here's the other thing. Also, the authenticity, and this is, I think, what Matt is getting at.
Yeah.
The authenticity reads as super performative when you're an obvious narcissist.
Hey, Andy, have a good day. Since it's 4 a.m. there. Have a good one, brother.
Dang it.
See, by the way, I'm not going to show you the context for this, but she absolutely did. Love it is what, when people talk about men like, oh, they're so gross and they say dirty things all the time. Love it is what they think we are, if that makes sense. At how wild she is.
No cap.
Yes, she does not hold back.
No, yeah, dead ass.
For real, for real.
Skirt.
I've run out.
Well, you got that link I gave you.
Skibbity.
Oh, that's what you ran out of. Sorry, I thought you missed stories.
Oh, no. We can bring up your story. I ran out of stupid slang. Let me stop my screen
That's
share.
terrible.
Oh man, you know what? We do need to check it, like update it, because it'd be nice if we ruined it for everyone by how much we use it. And that we use it, you know what I mean?
I know my daughter absolutely loves it when I talk like that around the house.
Well, well, speaking of just branching off what you were saying about Plattner and Maine, this is what the Real Clear Politics average looks like now in Michigan with that crazy leftist versus Mike Rogers. It's now he's moved it's out of the margin of error in the polling to a 44 to 41 lead over this guy in the averages. And I would think it would, knowing Michigan, it would just get bigger as a gap if that's the dude they put in there. Because just like Plattner, they are sitting on a pile of crazy socialist shit that he said that they're just waiting to destroy him with. But they're letting him run to the left of everybody in the primary so he can get through, so that Rogers can just trounce him. So,
right, and that's one of the seats that we've said the Republicans are likely to pick up a flip there, not lose it. So that's where I'm still at like 54 Republicans.
Yeah, and it's not a matter of this is a highly winnable seat for Democrats if they just nominate. If you
just don't run batshit crazy,
a not batshit crazy candidate. This reminds me a lot if people may remember in the right after Obama in 2010 when we ran the Tea Party, wave was coming through, and we lost a whole bunch of Senate races that we were supposed to win, and it's because we started nominating some batshit crazy people. Like we had the one lady who was like, "I'm not a witch. People say I'm a witch." Like what? If you got to do an ad where you're like, "I'm not a witch," you're gonna lose. So, and this is the version that the Democrats are getting, where you've got to know your zone. And as an example, if Lindsey Graham wins in South Carolina, I'm not going to be happy about it because I don't like Lindsey Graham, but I also understand Lindsey Graham
wins in South Carolina,
the state of South Carolina, so we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Which South Carolina screwed us a little bit last week.
Yeah.
Because they had everything ready to go for redistricting and then let the clock run out intentionally in the Senate.
I'm telling you, it's because Clyburn and that AME network knows where people's bodies are buried on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah,
And
but
so
now
they're
Clyburn gets to keep a seat that we should have been able to take away, and that pisses me off.
I'm not happy about it either. But
Because
it is what it is.
That was two red pickups there.
I
if they
have
had done the
one of
done
my
the new map, right?
one of my truisms for American politics is nothing good has ever happened for America out of South Carolina politics. Ever. For the entire history of this country. They were the ones who forced slavery out of the Declaration of Independence when Thomas Jefferson
When we needed it to be unanimous at the Declaration.
Yeah, so, and because North Carolina was going to go with South Carolina and Georgia was going to follow them too as a block. So South Carolina, again, forced the removal of commentary regarding slavery. South Carolina was the driving force with John C. Calhoun about the compromises that kept slavery going. And South Carolina was the leader of the secessionist movement and the craziest wackos of the South driving all that stuff to keep it going. So South Carolina, terrible state for American politics. Nothing good comes from it. Nancy Mace, South Carolina, not good for American politics. Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, not great for American politics. Tim Scott, not really great. I don't like Tim Scott that much. I think he's kind of a wishy-washy poser.
I still think one of the funniest things that I've ever seen in politics in the last 10 years, especially, is Nancy Mace talking at the prayer breakfast and saying, yeah, well, I woke up and rolled over and my boyfriend was like, well, can we have a quickie before you have to go? And she's like, no, I've got to get to the prayer breakfast. This was not the husband. I think that had already fallen apart or hadn't started yet. But yeah, she's sitting there talking to the prayer breakfast about how
what's even better, Brahma, is that I believe that was the same boyfriend she would go on to accuse of raping her,
which
on
became
the
her
house
husband
floor
at one point, right?
Yeah. No, they never got married. They were engaged.
Okay.
They were engaged.
That's right.
And then she accused him of raping her, but she did it just like Masshole did on the floor of the house, so she has absolute privilege.
And then said, I said what I said.
And then just kept referring to her statement on the floor so she couldn't be sued for it. Although I think he is actually still suing her or going after her for libel on it. Remember her, we've talked about it before. Nancy Mace's beginning on the national stage was suing to be the first woman let into the Citadel, where she invaded a male military space.
If I can have a second, I just wanted to announce our first major victory in this battle. We had the yes.
Yeah.
No. That's my chat.
Saying that's on your
that's
channel?
That's my chat. That's my chat. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't forget you were on because you're never on at this time.
That's right. But that wasn't the point. You're not supposed to read what she said. The whole point was that we have the yes over here.
Sherry, if you want to help, if you switch channels and send a message in chat, Brahma can highlight it, and then
Sherry, do not be tempted by false chats.
It's better over here.
There's it?
More people.
I haven't seen y'all highlight any of them, but I highlight my chat.
We highlight chat. We engage with chat.
If they pay you, I don't ask that of them. Although it would be nice if my chat would pay me.
Just remember, you're highlighting your chat on my channel.
Wait, yeah, no, but it's highlighted on mine as well.
Right.
So, chat, if you
where there is no context for anybody watching the main show.
Please remember, you can send in
the
super
main
chats.
Show. Hold on, no, that was an unnecessary shot. No crowning, fucking targeting.
Who had the text to say, "Hey, can we do this?" It wasn't me, because I'm the main.
Oh, we leaking texts.
Yes, we're leaking DMs now. All right, let's bring up Mad's story, which is...
I didn't write it. Don't get confused, new viewers.
Oh, we would never confuse you with being able to write.
Fair.
For far-right extremists, the rise of a new enemy, women. Misogyny is an increasing factor in far-right attacks, but it often goes unnoticed.
I laughed through reading this whole thing. I just it's the equivalent of watching a Neil Breen film. You'll see.
Evidence tied to last week's deadly attack on a California mosque illustrates a violent ideology and playbook that is all too familiar to counterterrorism and extremism experts. A 75-page typewritten document attributed to the teenage suspects and live-streamed videos showing the attack show extensive grounding in far-right neo-Nazi thinking. But one facet of the ideology behind this attack has so far been left out of much of the mainstream coverage. He just flat out says he hates women and that they're the devil and they're destroying everything. And this is an important thing because that kind of misogyny did not exist in white supremacist circles, say, 10 to 15 years ago. Said Heidi Beirich, co-founder of the Global Project Against Hate and Extremism. Beirich was referring to the first part of the written document authored by one of the two suspects. For many, the suspect's apparent misogyny may seem irrelevant, given that they targeted a Muslim house of worship. But Alex DeBronco...
Is it a multiplier? It's even worse now.
Yeah. Tack on that hate crime.
Wait,
but
can you double up on hate crimes?
Oh, I'm sure you can. Against women and against Muslims. I mean,
it's going to be so hard to...
killed.
Right, as I was trying to figure out your DPS on some game. Like, wait, okay, I got this multiplier. What if I add this jewel to my sword? You know what I mean?
Does it add or just multiply?
Yeah, oh yeah, man.
Yeah. But Alex DeBronco, executive director and co-founder of the Institute for Research on Male Supremacism, says it is comparable to anti-Semitism, a foundational underpinning of white nationalist thinking that is rooted in conspiracy theories. Anti-Semitism has been an essential ideological component behind white supremacist attacks at mosques, retail establishments frequented by African Americans and Latinos, gay bars, and schools. Anti-Semitism, gay bars, and schools. I don't see where those things...
I want to learn more about this institute for, what was it, the study of male supremacism?
Male supremacism. Research on male supremacism.
Oh man.
We've seen similar kinds of conspiratorial thinking about women pulling the strings behind the scenes as well.
True.
And this all sounds exactly true if you were just talking about, say, Tucker and Megan and Nick Fuentes, and you got rid of women and just put in the Jews, because that's pretty much what they have been doing.
I was making a joke about how your chat is the New Jersey of chats. I put you Jersey. I'm like, oh no, I almost got us all in trouble.
Also, New Jersey's on fire right now. So,
is it?
Well, yeah, we just watched the video
right.
of Newark.
That's right. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
We've seen similar kinds of conspiratorial thinking about women pulling the strings behind the scenes as well. And so the targeting of a mosque in San Diego is something that is interrelated, not only with Islamophobia, but also with anti-Semitism and deep misogyny. Some of these things seem like they should cancel each other out, not be joining each other.
You would think, right?
I would think that. Chad? Would you think so?
I don't know if I should get embroiled in this.
What happened?
Well, I feel like Matt is the subject matter expert.
On what?
On misogyny?
On misogyny.
On madsogyny.
On Mads? Yeah, I mean, I know
Fair.
he's not bringing it to the new channel, so we should...
Oh, that's right. Oh, man, I keep forgetting that. Yeah, no, on Matt's new channel, we love women. They're our favorite.
Oh, shut your mouth, Grant Gregory.
Oi, where's Grant?
In one of the
Matt's chat.
This is Matt.
Has Australia run out of diesel yet? Has it turned into full Mad Max mode? Is Grant Gregory running around in one of those outfits, like where he's got like feathers sticking out of linebacker pads?
Man, every time I go on the full Aussie Saturday mornings at like 6 a.m., whatever time they start, I always learn something new and it's an
Sorry,
experience.
isn't that like 9 o'clock for them?
Who the fuck knows,
it's
bro?
late night for them and it's 6 a.m. for you, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with what time it is for Grant is fruitless.
I think he's like 6 hours different. So it's 9:15 here. So I think he's at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:15 in the afternoon. But I'm not sure on that. Hey, Grant. Well, no, but he's also a day ahead. So, yeah. DeBronco says that the scholarship and news coverage of violence that is partly rooted in anti-women conspiracy theories has failed to keep pace with the spread of these dangerous beliefs. The attack at the Islamic Center of San Diego is the most recent example. I was surprised when I opened the manifesto, having looked at the prior media coverage, at how deeply blatant the misogyny was throughout. One of the suspects starts with talking about Jewish people as the number one enemy, and then in his next section says, and then right after the Jews, women are number one.
Wait, what?
Women are the number one enemy after the Jews. I mean, it seems like
Chad,
these guys will naturally die off because you kind of need the women for the reproduction portion of things.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't figured out a way around that yet.
He's like, my trans boyfriend still hasn't gotten pregnant, but we are not going to involve women in this.
But Tim Waltz says, I'm still going to make sure you can get tampons.
And have access to abortions. Also something James Tallarico is very, very, very much on board for, because trans need abortions too. And the Bible says that abortion is authorized and actually, kind of encouraged.
Well, you remember
because Mary had to choose whether to have Jesus.
Which, by the way, is even if one were to accept Tallarico's ridiculous premise, it's not the same thing as an abortion. Like, under his concept, where she would be,
where the angel supposedly said, "Hey, God wants you to do this. You cool with that?" Where in reality it was like, "Hey, you've been chosen by God to do this. Have fun. It's going to be a heck of a ride."
Look, man, when I first heard it takes you by surprise, man.
Yeah, so what Tallarico is arguing is like, hey, Mary, we would like you to do this. We've already implanted the seed of God in you. But it's in the first trimester. So we can totally abort him.
We implanted him, but we also gave you a coat hanger in the manger.
No. You don't want to listen to the heartbeat. That's going to make it harder for if you choose.
Mary, what you need to do is find one of the wise men. One of his gifts is a Plan B pill, and you can just take it. We'll mail it. In fact, you know what? We'll mail it to you because we've determined that even though it's not legal, we'll just be able to mail it to you.
Also, you're going to need to talk to the rest of your family because somebody else is also pregnant, and he's going to be talking about the kid that you're going to have. So if you decide not to have that kid, we should probably get rid of that one too.
Do you guys remember what the ingredients of a Mad Cappuccino is?
Mad Cappuccino? Yeah.
Yeah. No, you guys don't remember this?
Well, I know it's Plan B and coffee.
And a cappuccino, yeah, just mix it up though. Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't sell it in bulk at Sam's, man. I looked. Back in the day, very stable relationship for years now.
Being.
What?
You're a horrible human being. You heard
from a certain point of view.
The Dead Man for $9.99. As a native South Carolina resident, I'm conflicted. John Calhoun and the Swamp Fox were patriots. Calhoun was a proponent of nullification, which I believe he was right.
I don't. The state level nullification was.
I have a ton of thanks to give, and it could be all yours.
I made it sting less by giving you her.
I stalk less for Bryce Dallas Howard. That's true.
Oh yeah, we love these things on the Matt's new channel.
Look, Matt, don't you?
Guarantee you love it. Loves him.
Love it. Is Bryce Dallas Howard top tier? She can comment on Mad's new channel since
Be
it's
right back.
woman friendly.
Stream comes with plan B. No, I usually would get him a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit from McDonald's when I.
You didn't
Oh.
even go.
Sorry, hold on. I got distracted because I got a $50 tip. Oh man, am I gonna read this? I can't remember. Oh, all right. Thank you, anonymous. Okay, hold on. I gotta warm up. Oi, daughter. Here we go. Read an Australian accent. Here's to Mead. Next new misogyny free channel and subscribe to the Mad Pin on Sunday nights. Oi, and clip that. And clip that argument with the Grok. Oh, I actually did clip that. Yeah, when I got into it with Grok the other day, I do have that. Fucking nailed it. By the way, guys, that's what you get on the new channel. The accurate 100% best accents. I can do any accent. Test me.
Any accent.
All right, we got another $9.99 super chat coming in from the Dead Man, saying the reason it's called the Palmetto State is because they use palmetto tree. What?
Wait, sorry. Oh, sorry. I didn't know this. I should pay attention.
Goddamn super chat.
Yes, you should pay attention to the show that you're on.
My bad.
All right, they were using palmetto trees to build forts to fight off the British. So no, Chad, us Carolinians did contribute. I didn't say South Carolina didn't contribute to the United States. I said South Carolina politics has never done anything good for America, and I stand by that statement. So go ahead and give him something for that, Brahma.
Yeah, let's
Oh wait, we're not gonna give anything to my. Well, I guess I did.
I don't always watch YouTube for politics, but when I do, it is the Bullpen with Brahmabull and Lil Chad.
By the way, I
settle which is the main show.
Grant, you know, you're my ride or die, bro, but I will not be accent shamed on the new channel.
Lovett says that Matt is the accent expert after
This
all.
is the way.
Although Eclay says that sounded like a Kiwi and Canadian hybrid.
Banned. Wait, did he say that in my chat or yours?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it was in mine.
Have a way of telling. You're the only one monitoring your chat.
And I'm doing an excellent job of it as well. I haven't been distracted this whole time at all.
So
look at this. Look, see, people get it though. They get it. Look at this. Out of all the accents I've heard Matt attempt, I find that all of them are excellent. I mean, guys, it's official, bro. It's definitive now. So henceforth, I will be
your chat is insane.
Fair, but they're not wrong.
They're just using their own facts.
Look at the degenerates in your chat. Ooh, I'm gonna do boobs.
That's low spec. Just as writing of neo-Nazis and white nationalist killers often use offensive slurs for Jewish people, the document uses a dehumanizing term meant to shorthand female humanoid organism.
I've never heard this term before. Yeah, I'm like, man, I gotta start. I gotta introduce that into my.
We're getting pretty close with Tallarico with uterus having neighbors.
Oh man, I was like, dude, I'm gonna add that to my lexicon.
That section on women uses dehumanizing language that's really popular in the misogynist incel community.
And yet I've never heard of the term.
And Matt is like,
immediately
how did I not know this?
Immediately this researcher is going directly to they're incels.
It's just because it's the same thing we always see. Is the easiest way to dismiss someone is by just labeling them this broad,
you're a fascist,
ever-changing,
or racist, or I can't figure out anything else, you're an incel.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, here on YouTube, we get called it all the time for being right wing. Yeah. Even though on almost every show I'm on, every person is married or in a long-term relationship with a woman. Kind of hard to be an incel in that way, but whatever.
I do my best.
I know you do.
But I will say, what's crazy though is you would think if you've ever heard me on YouTube, I would have more haters. I can't get them. I can't get them, man. I had that one, but he died of COVID. Fucking quitter.
Well, there's an interesting way to find out that Epic Mike is actually a sub to your channel. Copy Kitty comes in with 5 gifted memberships, of which the first one went to Epic Mike. Thank you very much, Copy. Good to see you. Copy gets her very own clip.
Kitty donated again.
I really think we need to have him, like, from the actual scene where he's just like, fuck. From The Witcher.
Oh, yeah.
Use that. It's a term that is intended to indicate that women are actually not human. They are humanoid, and this has been popular for a number of years. Never heard of any of this. I mean, Mike has rated us a few times, so I've been on shows with Mike, Epic Mike. When we used to do Shag's show on Wednesday, I would be on there every now and then with him. We had some major battles with Lofty Pixels, Epic Mike, and me on Wednesday nights back in the day. DeBrinco said that the line of thinking expressed in the suspect's writings follows a tired trope that women are essentially responsible for everything wrong in the world. Again, this is the exact same framework that they are using for Israel. You could sub out everything that is woman in this and put in the Israel conspiracies. The horseshoe is becoming more well-defined. I actually, my parents called today and they were like, what's up? I was like, nah, I'm trying to figure out what to talk about tonight. And they were like, we were just kind of talking politics in general. And they were like, well, are you still listening to Tucker and Megan? And it's like, no. They've lost their freaking minds. They've gone directly into the whole Israel controls everything talk. And my parents, who do pay attention to like Fox News, but would be pretty normie and everything else. My dad used to listen to Rush all the time, which was probably better than listening to Fox News. But they've got no clue what's going on in any of this. That's why I say, the political influencer crowd we're hitting a much younger target because, people our parents' age, they're not paying attention to any of this podcast war stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how do I...
Like, they would still consider themselves Tucker and Megan fans from their Fox days. They have no idea what it's become now.
True. I will say that I don't know where the audience is for like Candace and Fuentes. They get a lot of views. It is interesting that as much as they take down all these other channels, YouTube has shown no desire in any way to quash the free... I mean, Candace Owens is currently being sued on multiple fronts for things
one by the president of a country.
But not a real country. It's
for using YouTube to spread the allegation that his wife is actually a dude.
Allegations.
Yeah. So if you're YouTube and you nuke channels at the drop of a hat, it is interesting that Fuentes and Candace seem to be immune from those issues.
I mean, maybe they just haven't crossed the quartering yet.
That's a good point.
I'm just saying.
Hey, check out this Candace video. It's crazy. What do you think?
Oh, damn it. I wish I knew more about Candace's history so I could make a what are the oranges for. But I don't know enough about it to do that one.
All right. What are
the Macrons for?
Maybe this will trigger you as much as it triggered me, to use the parlance of the youth. She has this tendency to completely mispronounce words. I mean, that's some people do that.
Yeah,
but she said
I can't throw stones.
She said that she grew up in a Prince household, meaning that her family was a bigger fan of Prince music than Michael Jackson. And she proceeded to say, all we listened to was Prince songs, like Little Red Corvette, Raspberry Barrett.
Right.
No.
Yeah,
she did.
I honestly, Chad, you know you're my boy, but I was about to attack you for mispronouncing it. That was just my initial.
And that's the thing. I was like, Candace, you ignorant, whatever. You're like, he doesn't even call it Barrett in the song. Like the song is Raspberry Beret. Like everybody knows it's a beret. So
it's the chorus.
It's the chorus of the song. So you prefaced it, and you completely destroyed your ability to claim that you're lying.
Like Kamala with Tupac. She was listening to Tupac in college.
Tupac hadn't even
before
put
his music
stuff out. Yeah.
Started.
She's
not 30.
To be fair, Tupac has managed to destroy the time stream when it comes to his releases several times. He's still got new music coming out.
I never got the full context of that. Did she mean as a ballet performer? That's how she knew Tupac? Because at that time, wasn't he?
I still don't think he would have been old enough for her to be doing anything around Tupac in college. But yes, I get the reference that he was a ballet dancer before he was a rapper.
Yes.
Yes.
Normally, it's the opposite of that, how it goes. I can't wait to see 6ix9ine as a ballet.
A lot of people become fairies before they become rappers.
I can't let that one slide, bro. What are you talking about? Maybe the Canadian ones, Drake, but down here on the third coast,
that like to buy baby oil, and everybody attached
East
to
Coast,
them,
bro. No, that shit don't fly down on the third coast.
And
you ain't never
everybody
gonna see
attached to them.
You ain't never gonna see Big Pokey. You ain't never gonna see ESG, Fat Pat. Actually, Big Pokey and Fat Pat are both
golf
dead.
rappers.
I think they're both dead. But you know what I mean. ESG's still around. One leg missing, but he's here.
So let's wrap up this. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but the ultimate point is this whole thing is about a mosque shooting, and rather than it being tied to Islam in any way, it's tied to them being misogynist and anti-woman. Makes a lot of sense. So, since we brought up Candace, there are a couple funny things that happened this week. I'm going to bring up an old clip from about 10 years ago. This is Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks talking about Candace's, very fresh new website where she liked to dox people. So let's bring that up, and then we will go into what happened last week with Anna Kasparian and Candace Owens.
I wonder what it is that brings all these people together.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's like something that's shaped like a U.
Well, what's crazy about Anna? She was so close to.
She was.
I mean, she was right on the edge of like, oh, I get it now. I mean, you had Sitch and Adam. They're friends with her. She would come on there, and you could see, oh, she's starting to see what's up. And then she's like, the Jews though, and gets took another left. I mean, bro.
Well, yeah, like Jillian Michaels, they were doing that show together, which was a fairly interesting show because you had right wing. I can't remember her name, the Australian chick. You had Jillian Michaels, who's just come over from the left and is still trying to figure out her positions. And you had Anna Kasparian as the progressive. Well, Jillian Michaels had to walk off her own show that was produced by Pat what is his name? Patrick David? Bet David? PBD.
Patrick Bet David.
Bet David. Yeah, it was basically he was funding it, and it was Jillian's show. And she brought on Anna, but then she had to walk off in the middle of an episode and never went back because Anna just could not leave the Jew thing alone. Could not do it.
Controversial bully shaming database has been suspended from its crowdfunding efforts on Kickstarter. Now, this organization or this company is referred to as Social Autopsy. And apparently they've already compiled a database of individuals online
It's weird
who
seeing
harass
Anna's old
people
nose.
or bully people. And the whole
Man,
point
I
is
know
to
I know
shame
it's a new
shamers,
channel, but
bully
it's
the
really hard
bullies.
for me
So
to
people are a little concerned about
pay attention.
I feel like she doesn't.
She's just a little too dressed for or undressed for you. I mean.
What? No, I
Anna,
just started ignoring her immediately when she started to speak.
I was gonna say, she's had an improvement in the yeah front.
I also believe that, but I'm not sure on that.
Now, Social Autopsy,
I mean,
created
it seems
by
pretty
Degree
clear with
180
this old clip.
CEO Candace Owens, would have been a searchable
Did she have
database
kids or
where
something?
anyone could look up.
No.
What that she kept? Well, I mean, none that she
chest
kept.
binder on at this point. I don't know.
Hold on, hold on, I got it better. None that she has kept, Chad.
Maybe she's got a chest binder.
Did it take you a beat, Brahma?
No, I was just trying not to laugh at it.
Their names of friends, family members, coworkers, or strangers, and see their online activities. Okay, so what's the #1 defense people use when they're making awful comments online? I'm exercising my First Amendment rights. Let's create a database
hold
where
on,
we
pause. The
capture
number
them.
one
The site
defense
would only
is usually my Uncle Chenk said that I'm allowed to say these things.
I'm allowed to go to Cuba and
Right.
give aid. What are you talking about? It's my First Amendment right.
those rights and create digital records that anyone can access.
What do you
So
mean?
that's
The
the
dog
whole
loves
idea.
being in that corner all day.
You can tell by when she gets up, she immediately goes right back to it without being shocked or anything.
Behind it. But of course, this raised quite a few red flags because does it make sense to do vigilante justice against these people? Will this lead to vigilante justice? Will it solve any problems if we start bullying the bullies? Well, the unpublished site currently has about 20,000 profiles, but the creator's goal is to launch.
Keep in
Kickstarter
mind,
Denial
they're
Be
talking
Damned
about
with
Candace
150,000.
Owens'
The site
new
would only
business that
collect
she was starting.
accused harassers'
She was the
names,
CEO.
locations, employers, social media links, and current and former school information. I think this is a terrible idea. Who's the arbiter of what is and isn't bullying? I don't think it makes sense to put all these resources into a company so you have like this database of bullies. And the reality is we'll all be considered bullies at some point.
You know, and this has a
I've never been.
like doxing, right?
Yeah, that's
Never been a bully.
Yeah,
IRL
People are
on
very
Xbox,
concerned
yeah,
about.
definitely
Yeah,
been a
don't do
bully.
that. Doxing is horrible. Okay, you go to his house, they come to your house, everybody's in each other's house, and then it's a goddamn mess.
Yeah, and you don't really want to encourage that in a country that's swimming in guns. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and this ship has not yet.
No,
left
what
the
are you
dock.
saying?
And
So-
realize this segment
Let's not
that
go-
they were doing this about Candace Owens was called Public Enemies. So there's clip #1. Chad's going to bring up an interim clip, it looks like, and then I'll play the second part of-
I'm merely just going to point out that I think we have the change confirmed. Because
That's what you've been doing this whole time? You've been back there like...
Yes, he's been back there looking for Anna Kasparian's boobs.
I just look. It's an important fact. This
Man.
is what our people want to know.
When this takeover is completed, this shit's stopping.
What are you talking about?
He's talking about his takeover of our show.
Chat, do you think that it's a look at the side by side? Clearly,
Well, you would have to blow it up.
I think
and
that's
then
what she did.
And
Yeah.
then blow them down.
God dang it, love it.
And then blow
Look at
them up.
it. Look, love it. Does exactly what I said earlier. Does she have any cake pics? Like,
Not really. It's hard to catch Anna not sitting.
yeah. So I'm just putting. Look, Mad. I find answers to questions.
I'm just
Wait.
asking questions.
who asked?
I
Chad
did.
did.
Wait, I am an answer. I'm an
Chad
answerer
answered
of
his
my
own-
questions. Yeah.
Yes. That is what
I
happened
have,
here.
If I have Q's, I have A's.
Look, we're talking about we're apparently passing the Bechtel test by having two women talk about each other. I am free to make it an improved conversation.
Oh my God! You know what I just realized? Matt's new channel, which you can subscribe to, and you should, actually pass the Bechdel test once.
You had two women on the same.
Yeah,
show?
we had Love It and Shredda and the
Shredda.
girlfriend. Yeah, that
And
did
they-
not go the way I thought it was going to to go.
Oh, hold on.
I I don't know why, but when I was preparing the story for the Heimlich maneuver, I did not anticipate so many throat jokes.
Clay, request it from DB Wild. Get an Anna Kasparian clip for the bullpen.
And I'm just going to throw this out here. You can't talk about me getting an answer on Anna Kasparian when you willed into this world a video of Mother Teresa that I should never have seen.
That is a
Which
fact.
was never made public. I didn't make it.
Even comics was like,
I said willed into the world.
Chad, do not listen to they're missing. A lot of context is missing. I was trying to come up with one that wouldn't work at all. Like he wouldn't even bother doing.
And then he de-aged her to like 25. And
yeah, I didn't
everywhere.
know. I did. Yeah. See, I didn't even think about him de-aging Mother Teresa. I was like,
or just using an older picture of her.
Yeah. My
Not
bad,
the
dude.
90-year-old version.
So some people enjoy a challenge. I was like, I thought he would just move on.
All right. Here is Anna. Anna was on Candace's show the day after this little talk that she had on the Young Turks. So that happened earlier this week.
The name most commonly mentioned is none other than firebrand podcaster Candace Owens, which I got to be honest with you is a little bit surprising. Owens is one of
the segment is, could Candace Owens win the GOP presidential primary in 2028?
The answer is not a batshit chance in hell.
No.
the breakout media stars of her era. Her influence is increasingly not confined to MAGA Republicans. In fact, over the last 5 years, few individuals come up more regularly than her as non-politicians who people see as a possible future president. I do think that since she has kind of separated herself from Trump, I do think that she's garnering a more diverse audience. I think her willingness.
What would that audience be? The Groypers?
Man.
I mean, she's got a whole bunch of crazy women who think that Erica Kirk killed her own husband. Yeah, that's a diversifying of the audience for sure.
It's been a while since I've actually seen Anna. Has she had, what's up with has she had things done to her face?
I think she got a nose job, but I can't verify that.
I believe she's also had that buccal fat removal that makes the cheeks look very much sharper.
Yeah, that always looks well.
To be honest with herself and with others.
Sorry, last thing. I know I'm supposed to be different on the new channel, but as soon as he started talking, I picked up my phone and was messaging someone. I don't know what it is. It's mostly because her.
To not buy into a cult of personality when it comes to Trump and actually stay true to what matters to her. I think that's going to attract a more diverse audience, ideologically speaking.
Keep in mind, this was the day before going on Candace's show.
What's the TLDR
she's
for
just
that?
glazing her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because now their interests align because they're at both ends of the horseshoe. Horseshoe theory has them both. The Jews are bad. So now we're best friends. So yeah, there's Anna. What else did we have? Oh, Jennifer Welch. We always love to see her.
Yeah,
right.
And maybe for the dum-dums in the chat that don't know who she is, you want to let them know?
You've been here when we've played her. You'll recognize her when you see her. Because
of course I know who she is. I said for the
she's a horrendously ugly blonde pundit
that has some of the dumbest takes that anybody could ever have, and spouts them with such confidence that it's hard to believe that anybody actually listens to anything to her.
I do.
There is a credible.
Her. Yes. Now, do you remember her chat?
With Donald Trump and a 13-year-old.
I'll be honest. I appreciate that level of game where you say the dumbest shit, but you say with so much confidence, you're able to convince a couple of people that, you know what? Normally that wouldn't make sense, but she said it so confidently.
And this is on the Don Lemon show. That's who she's talking to. So what she's saying is there is There's testimony in the Epstein files that she knows about that Donald Trump was doing things to 13-year-olds.
You know, there is a credible testimony in the Epstein files with Donald Trump and a 13-year-old girl that she was forced to perform oral sex on him. Allegedly. And per the allegations, and that she bit him.
He's like, I'm
The
already
guy
under
actively
indictment.
in a court case right now for the church riots.
He's like,
Allegedly.
he's like, I sure as shit better be adding the allegedly on this conversation.
Because Jennifer Welch sure as hell will not, because she states everything is fact at all times.
And that then she was slapped or punched or something. This is a signed affidavit in the Epstein files. And so.
Which was removed, by the way. And then they somehow inadvertently put it back in. I forget, or removed it. And then when they got caught, they put it back in.
But a litmus test for me is anytime Donald Trump calls anything a hoax, I know it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the Epstein whole thing was a hoax.
Yeah.
We know it's real. Climate change, hoax. We know it's real. Anytime he says something is a hoax, you know it's true.
Fake news.
Mm-hmm.
It's real.
Which the retarded thing about that is, it's exactly the opposite as the truth. If there was anything in the Epstein files about Trump that was legitimate and credible, the Democrats would have used it to burn everything down to the ground just to keep him out of office a second time. They already tried to put him in jail.
Yeah.
They tried to jail him for the rest of his life. They tried to bankrupt him with the E. Jean Carroll stuff, which also is not going well this week.
It's crazy that that they in the political environment we're in now, that you can have leaks from the Supreme Court before the decisions, but
that leads to the Supreme Court members getting swatted on the right.
Yeah. No. Well, my point is, but they had access to it, even if legally they couldn't release anything. If there was anything actually credible and solid, you're telling me that wouldn't have been leaked?
Yeah, it would have been leaked.
Of course it would have been.
Thomas Massey now saying, well, sometime before the end of my term, I'm going to read the names of all the people in the Epstein file.
Yeah, sure, bud.
It's like, okay, well, that's what you've been complaining that hasn't happened for 2 years. So why you haven't immediately done it? If it's that important, why aren't you doing it?
Whenever I hear somebody talk about he was mentioned 300 and whatever times in the Epstein files, cool. How many how many emails did he send Epstein? How many emails did Epstein send Trump? Oh, none. There was
and
none.
How much of their contact was after 2008 when Epstein was convicted?
But that's the point, though, right? You have Epstein emailing all these people directly.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, yeah, but Trump was mentioned whatever times. Yeah, usually because he was talking shit or fucking planning on how they can use it.
You had Epstein literally texting Plaskett during a congressional hearing to tell her what she needed to know as the next question to ask a witness. But yeah, it's the Republicans that are all over this. Epstein was buddies with all the Republicans, not the Democrats that he donated to and all of their friends that he palled around with. Sure, Jan.
Yeah. And look, I'm under no delusion of Trump being this virtuous
Boy Scout.
Yeah, at all. But let's be honest about
doing
shit.
Stuff with underage.
No, of course it is. Let's be honest. Call it what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He likes big titty MILFs, especially the foreign ones. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I did see a video that I wanted to play because it's a good reminder. It's not pertinent to today in most ways, but it was a very well put together thing that I found on Twitter that I think will infuriate everybody and remind people of certain situations, as certain side of things is saying that we will grant no amnesty.
Boy, I just looked at the viewer numbers for each of our streams. I should not have done that. Oh boy, that really Took the wind out of myself.
So you're saying this is the mainstream?
No, that's okay, but not the
You
better.
could be the alternative media. We'll be the mainstream media.
Oh no, I gotta be Blaze. Fuck.
Yep. Way to go, Glenn. All right, here we go.
When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
You are the unvaccinated. You are the problem. It is the unvaccinated who are the problem. Period. End of story.
The only people that you can blame, this isn't shaming, this is the truth. Maybe they should be shamed, are the unvaccinated.
It's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks.
Anyone you came into contact with will blame you, as will the rest of us who have done the right thing by getting vaccinated.
Because frankly, we know that we can't trust the unvaccinated.
I think it's time to get our moral house in order, Anderson. It's the unvaccinated who are the threat.
All of us vaccinated folks are going to start wearing masks to protect the unvaccinated folks. It's called a Christian value.
You're basically punishing the vaccinated.
You're right.
I remember. I remember. I remember Saint Augustine of Hippo writing about the mask and how it stops the spread in 14 days.
In the Christian Values Handbook.
Yep. Yeah. Augustine was all about that shit. Also, real quick, they can't even give 15% to the animal that it may have came from. Not even all of it is on the, you know what I mean? Like all of the blame goes on them. We can't put a little blame on whatever bad it was they cooked up at the back of the lab.
I don't think the bat had any choice in it. I think Fauci's funding did.
Oh, fair. Yeah. You know what? That's a good defense of what they're saying.
Again, it should all come back down to let's blame Fauci for this crap, because it was also his stuff that was coming up with the 6-foot rule and the masks that everybody knew didn't do anything.
I mean, use them as a graphic.
Are basically saying, well, it's open season for me. I can do whatever I want as well.
The unvaccinated are basically beating their breasts and running around the country saying, we don't care, we're living free and so forth. We've been patient.
Hold on the new channel, we would never beat breast. We would appreciate them. Am I right, Brahma?
On your new channel.
Oh, you would beat breast? Oh, no, I would appreciate them on the new channel. Chad, did you hear him?
Oh, I thought you said two breast.
Where are we going?
Well, because he said they run around. Are you not paying attention? He said they run around beating their breast. And I said that we don't do that on the new channel. We appreciate them.
I mean, yeah, you are a Bechtel test approved channel.
Except when you forget.
You know who gets it? Oh, it's taking a while for it to come up. There it is. This guy gets it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Brahma's channel is Bechtel test approved yet. Have you ever had more than one woman on? Carrie is the only one we've really ever had.
Man.
On this show or on this channel?
Carrie is your...
No, on the more than one woman on a show on your channel at the same time.
We may have less viewers, but our chatters are special.
All right, let's finish the video.
Care, we're living free and so forth.
We've been patient.
You're not sufficiently angry.
But our patience is wearing thin.
The unvaccinated, a group that includes children and people acting like children. And the rest of us are starting to get pissed off.
The vaccinated feel the unvaccinated are making me upset or angry.
This is not about freedom or personal choice.
Screw your freedom. My freedom is being kind of disturbed.
This was disappointing.
No. Screw your freedom.
The other day, Howard Stern weighed in with a much different approach.
At least, unlike most of them, he went back and apologized and said, I was wrong completely.
By the way, I don't think
Howard
I've ever...
Stern did?
No.
No, Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But by the way, I don't think I've ever had it.
Maybe Chris Pratt talked him into it.
Yeah, not once.
Oh, I definitely got it. At least twice.
If I did, when I noticed.
I've never been able to stomach eating steak since I had COVID.
Oh man, you need to.
Did you get a
check?
tick?
No,
bite
check a
from,
tick.
Yeah, from that.
When was the last time you had your
COVID? And I'm fine with all other red meat. It's just literally ribeyes and sirloins.
All right, I was gonna.
I'm fine with brisket. I'm fine with everything else. steak became the most unappetizing thing to me since then, and my wife still does not get it. She's like, "Can we have steak tonight?" And it's like, you and the daughter can.
Look, Brahma,
I'm not eating it.
Brahma, at this year's bro over, I'm gonna be checking your taint for ticks because just to make sure.
I thought the agreement was my taint doesn't get uncovered or untainted.
You made that rule with Garrett. That I did not agree to that.
Whatever, Officer Mad.
Oh, here it is. It's been so long. He's still
When
mad.
are we going to stop putting up with the idiots in this country and just say it's mandatory to get vaccinated? Their freedom.
But you're treading on our freedom and you're making other people sick, and really you're killing other people.
The anti-vaxxers, they seem to have a thing for death and home remedies.
The anti-maskers turned anti-vaxxers are not just putting their own lives at risk. If that was the issue, we could just say that we can watch them compete to win place or show in the Darwin Awards.
We have to start doing things for the greater good of society, and not for idiots.
The greater
who think that
good.
they
Where's
can
the
do
clip
their own
from
research.
Hot Fuzz?
The arrogance in which they're saying this, just the hubris and the unearned confidence in something that they knew nothing about is I think is the most upsetting.
Yep. That's why you don't hate the media enough.
Get me started on the lunatics who won't take any of the COVID vaccines.
Life is too short to be an ass. Life is way too short to be ignorant of the promise of something that is helping people worldwide.
Maybe you're doing it because you're disconnected or disorganized. Maybe you have some sympathetic psychological reasons. But
maybe we were doing it because we were better educated by actually looking into things rather than listening to you idiots to know better.
It's weird how quickly they drop the "I don't trust Trump's vax" to "Why don't you take the vax, you weirdo?" Like, you know what I mean?
The second Joe Biden was elected, it was, "Yeah, I'm taking the vax. You're an idiot if you don't."
Right.
When 10 minutes before that, it was,
yeah,
it's Trump's vaccine. I'll never touch it.
As if Trump was the one mixing the vaccine in the back of the White House before they're shipped off. Like he's there, like, may need a couple more drops of garlic in it or something.
Yeah. Let's put a little bit more bleach in.
President Trump, do you want to use a measuring cup? No. Everyone knows I'm the best at measuring vaccines. I know exactly what to put in it.
Oh, you can't shame them. You can't call them stupid. You can't call them silly. Yes, they are.
Those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price.
The unvaccinated should be taxed. They should pay more for health care.
We need to start looking at the choice to
There's
remain
no other context you would
the
make that
same as we
argument.
look at driving while intoxicated.
We're going to see, and I've said, almost two types of America.
Dr. Fauci said
well,
that
he
if
looks
hospitals get any
trustworthy.
more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack, yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo, rest in peace, Wheezy.
Pointing back to the unvaccinated who are really creating a problem in this country, every death that we are seeing from COVID could have been prevented.
Literally, the only
If
people
Fauci
dying are the
wasn't in
unvaccinated.
China.
And for those of you spreading misinformation, shame on you. Shame on you.
Oh, that's
I
a
don't know how
fucking.
some of you sleep at night.
That's a great ending.
Yeah. Credit
Who
to
made that?
Grabian.
Yeah.
Grabian on Twitter. Grabien.
Do we know them?
No idea who they are. I just came across it and I was like, that's a good reminder that I'm going to keep bookmarked forever.
Yeah, the ending was perfect.
So
wait, people are still getting boosters?
Yes.
I didn't even know they still offered it.
Shit, Mad James Tallarico up until 6 months ago was wearing masks at all of his campaign events.
I've seen the mask things, but I didn't know people were going to CVS like, hey, can I get my 30th booster?
No, you can still get it boosted. They're like, flu shot? Would you like your COVID booster? Which I think are the exact same people because I wouldn't take a flu shot either. Not for the same reasons, but because I don't think it does anything.
Yep.
The only time I got a flu shot, I got the flu immediately. Yeah. Hard flu.
Yeah, we just built different though.
We're at the 2 hours and I've run out of topics. So unless you guys got something, we can start doing the outros and head to the after show.
Chad, I have so many more topics, but out of principle, I'm going to withhold them.
Gonna withhold them. You're like an America 250 band. You've just decided to withhold your skills from the celebration.
All right,
Yeah,
you guys
call me when we hit 300
real quick, and I'm going to step away.
Have it. I'm gonna join you.
What, from smoking?
No,
I think we're both going to pee.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chad,
I'll
do
meet
your
you.
outro.
I'll meet
be
you at the
back in
toilet.
a minute.
My outro. All right. So co-host the Ascendant Art podcasts Fridays 9 p.m. Eastern. If you could go over there, it's on YouTube. You can sub if you haven't already. Would appreciate it. Sub doesn't cost you anything. Trying to get that sub count up. Most of the people who are here will be over there, usually on Fridays. Mad if he's able to.
Are we done with Brahma's shit yet?
Yeah, Brahma's stepped away, so you can tell him.
No, with his bracket. Are we done with it?
We're gonna kind of power through it this week. We finished the first round with all 4 quadrants, and now we can kind of get through because there's
by the way,
less matchups.
I need you to send me the template because I really want to start doing the other idea we had.
The Nick Cage one.
Yeah. But for all types of different topics, I think it's a brilliant idea. We'll talk afterwards, though.
Yeah. So that's where I'm usually hanging out. So the Ascendant Art channel here on YouTube or Rumble, if you want to look it up over there, and just sub if you can, if you're not already.
Cool.
And as for me, I've tried to be nice about it, but remember the dude that used to go on comics with the top hat?
Yeah.
And he was like, don't subscribe if you're not going to watch the content. I don't want you. Well, I
subscribe
agree.
even if you're not watching the content.
Yeah, no,
don't ring the bell. Just ring the stupid subscribe button.
I'm not going full him, but I will say, I'm writing down names. Brahma chat. I see who makes the trip over here to subscribe and hit that bell. That's cool. You don't enjoy good things. That's on you. All right, but if you did enjoy good things, we have women on the channel now, once a week. On Tuesdays, we do History Interrupted.
And when you randomly wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning and
Also
start
fair.
a stream with your girlfriend.
Yes, also fair. So Tuesday we're going to be going over the history of the firefighters because people don't tell the truth about them. You know, they get all this undeserved love and attention for what? And when I say this, I mean the firefighters in the cities, not the ones that are actually fighting like firefighters, right? I'm talking about the ones that had to become paramedics to justify being paid. Those are the firefighters. Anyway, so we're about to burst that bubble.
Mad loves firefighters.
Fucking
loves them.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, we'll be debunking all their love. And I'll be doing speakeasies through the week. So there we go.
And as for me, let's see. Tuesday, I'm on with Mad on his channel. Wednesday, maybe. I believe this week we've got our first Christian panel in a while. Thursday, I'm on Comics Division's channel. And the Christian panel is on Kerry Smith's channel. Thursday, Comics Divisions. Friday, down there with Lil Chad on Ascendant Art. And then Sunday, we're back here. So hope everybody has a great week. We will give you some credits and then be back for the after show where we just kind of talk about whatever. Doesn't have to be politics. If you want to ask us something, ask. We'll see if we can answer. But here is the outro. And Chad, you got it for 2 minutes during the outro and me going upstairs?
Yeah, Chad.
We're just going to be playing this video, right?
Whatever has been distracting you this entire time, you got to put it to the side. We need you to take over. We're going to go smoke.
I wouldn't.
We're closing out another one. 3 hours deep, but we're not done. Cover the bills, the votes, the mess. Political theater at its best, I guess. Chat was wild and takes were flying. Politicians out here straight up lying. We broke it down, no filter, no spin. The That's how the bullpen's always been. Bullpen's out, we said what we said. No, the Lulu takes, spraying truth like lead. Inside precision, facts in the clip. Next round, loading knowledge, we equip the bullpen. Dead ass, the chops on lock, got the flow, see it mainstream, pushing cap, but we see it clear. Into minds cutting straight through the haze, real spit, no front, ain't playing no games. Lip slipping, tripping on the foolery. We just chop it, call it raw, truly. We're fact checking every statement with meticulous precision, while the politicians sleeping through the legislative mission. Corporate media's feeding you a carefully designed revision. We the antidote to all the manufactured television. Bureaucratic nightmare navigating through the slow decay. Congress moving at a pace designed to keep the wolves at bay. Executive decision, Supreme Court rulings on display. We covered every angle, no cap. That's how we play. Legislation passing in the darkness of the midnight hour. Lobbyists manipulating every center of the power. But we're watching every movement from our independent towers, exposing all the corruption while the mainstream media cowers. So we're closing for the week, but the message is consistent. Real political discourse out to corporate funding for perspectives unified and intellectual resistance. Independent media's the future, we the vanguard. Next stream hitting harder with the content we've been gathering. Bullpen moving forward, independent voices battering the walls of propaganda with the facts that we've been mastering. Bullpen's out, we said what we said. No, the Lulu takes, spraying truth like lead. Inside precision, facts in the clip. Next round, loading knowledge, we equip the bullpen. Peace, stay informed, stay skeptical.
It's almost a perfect length. Chad, did you just abandon us too?
No, when did I abandon anything?
We're live.
Yeah. I had forgotten I had muted because everybody else had muted and we weren't. And since with Evie Mux, there's no talking over the dynamics, the outro.
Right.
So I just, well, yeah, whatever. But no, I guess, so you powered through your cigarette in time and come back.
Oh, I sucked that thing down. Yeah.
Suck that thing down like you were Kamala interviewing for the San Francisco assistant position.
Like that Matthew McConaughey meme where he's like, that's going to get clipped. Both of the things. I don't know what to talk about tonight. I did, I think, put some stuff into the entertainment bookmark. Oh yeah. I know this is an old one, but this is so good. As we go into Pride Month tomorrow, the, obviously fake Chick-fil-A ad. Have you seen this one?
Our pickles don't.
Just like God intended. Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that one, they roll that one out every Pride month.
Since like 2018, I think, is when it originally appeared. But great meme. What do you think Pride Month is going to be like this month? Do you think they'll continue to back off of it like they did last year? Or
it's one of those things where I think corporate sponsorship will be down, like in terms of sending money to do things, but the general wokerati will be going hardcore trying to bring it back, like Empire Strikes Back, like the Pride Strikes Back.
Yeah, I think people are just done with it. I don't know. The other clip that I had saved, which we can't play, was I came across one of my favorite scenes from Boston Legal on Twitter yesterday, on just one of those stupid things where they're just showing scenes from TV shows. But it was the one where Denny is getting mugged, and takes out his wallet, takes off his watch, hands him to the guy, and then pulls his own gun and goes right foot, left foot, right knee, and shoots the guy 3 times. And then he gets put on trial for concealed carry in New York, or in Boston, I mean. And like they're interviewing him on the stand, or cross-examining him on the stand, and they're like, or the cop, and they're like, so you confiscated the gun that he had, and they're like, yeah, and we also confiscated 3 more off of his body at that time. And then when we went to arrest him the next day, we confiscated another 5 guns that Denny Crane was carrying. Denny Crane was a great character, one of Shatner's best.
I mean, he's only really got 3 TV characters of note.
T.J. Hooker, Kirk, Boston Legal,
and Denny Crane.
There was one other.
He did like a TV show where he was like a grumpy old dad.
Yeah, with Kaylee Cuoco.
No, she wasn't in that one.
No, that was just the Price Right commercials. Who was it that was on that? Or Priceline, whatever that company is.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a TV show that was based on someone on an X account, where it was like an account where it was just like stupid things my dad said, or stuff my dad says.
Yeah, but he was playing basically Denny Crane again.
He was basically he wasn't far off Shatner on X, because Shatner on X will just start saying shit too.
Oh yeah. Hi, Mad. Oh, so he lied. He's not back.
Is he, or is he just done? Is he?
No. But he said, okay, I'm back. And the other person that is still watching on my channel can go to Brahma's, because you won't be banned this time. Boston Legal was the last great show, in my mind, that showed people from the left and the right being able to still be friends in some way. Because between Alan Shore and Denny Crane, you couldn't have 2 more different politics, and yet every episode ended with them having a bourbon and a cigar and just talking about their day. Even on episodes where they were pitted directly against each other. And I love the idea that Shatner thought that dementia, or called dementia, mad cow disease. It was such a good show. If you haven't watched it, I think everybody should go watch it. And the show that it spun off from was also very good, The Practice.
That was going to say, like, that was one of the weird ones where it started as a more serious legal drama with The Practice. And then it evolved into almost a legal comedy.
That last season of The Practice, when they brought in Alan Shore.
Yeah, and then it became
James
Boston
Spader's character.
Then it became Boston Legal with Spader and Shatner just going to town.
Which was funny because that last season of The Practice, when they brought in Spader, it was one of the cases that they were doing was a case that I was very familiar with out here in Colorado. They were talking about the hockey player that assaulted the other hockey player and was actually facing charges. Of course, they were doing it as, not using the real names or anything, but that was the Todd Bertuzzi on Steve Moore hit between Vancouver and Colorado, where Bertuzzi, they had actually put a hit out on Steve Moore, and Bertuzzi, halfway through the game, just skates up behind him because Moore was not a big guy. He wasn't going to fight somebody the size of Bertuzzi, that kind of thing. And Bertuzzi just cold cocks him from behind in the side of the head and then falls directly on top of him. Ended up paralyzing Steve Moore. Of course, it didn't help that everybody dogpiled on top to try to get Bertuzzi off. That's probably what broke his back or his neck. But guy never played again. But one of the episodes of The Practice was about that case. So it was back when TV used to actually stay kind of up on what was going on, because they were writing the episodes right around the time that they were starting to film them, instead of just having everything in the can and let a season go.
Yeah, I mean, That was in the era like Law
Like there
and
was
Order.
some pertinent stuff.
Law and Order used to do the rip from the headlines. Remember
Yeah,
that was
SVU did it all the time.
Yeah, well, that was Mike Wolf's like thing. Like I'll just look at the crime beat and I'll be able to get my 22 to 24 episodes per season out of without having to come up with new concepts.
And Boston Legal, it was just doing the not necessarily the crime stuff, but the political takes that were going on, the political arguments that were going on at the time, and then turning it into a courtroom thing. Marks, I don't think the practice overlapped with Boston Public. I think it was just Boston Legal, wasn't it?
No, yeah, I think Boston Public was
Boston
years
Public
later.
was the school show with the
Years
black
later.
principal, right?
Like you said, yeah, I think it was years later. But I had already started checking out of mainstream network television by that point. It was the beginning, not so much of the streaming era, but Netflix. Like you could just get what you wanted. You just wait and watch DVDs of whole seasons of shows when you were ready.
Sure. It says Cameron Mannheim showed up in Boston Public as the lawyer after the principal at one point. Same universe. Okay. Did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these producers, they put their stuff connected so they can keep making the money.
Bring in guests and everything else.
I mean, what was like NBC also had that whole franchise where it was Chicago stuff. It's Chicago PD,
Med,
Chicago Fire.
Yeah. I think those are still running, aren't they?
They might even got more spinoffs.
And then, of course, there's NCIS. Spinoff from JAG. And then became like 10 different NCISs, which I think they've shut almost all of them down except for the original now.
Well, then they've even brought back on Paramount, they did the Tony and
Diva.
And even, like they did like the spinoff show where it's not even technically called NCIS, but it's about old NCIS characters.
I promise I will let you get back to this
Old man
old man.
television.
Yeah, old man. Yeah, but I gotta go,
Okay.
so I can't stay for the after show.
What channel
want
are
me
you
to-
going on to?
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah. Where are you going?
I'm having. We're gonna eat. We're gonna have dinner.
Oh, dinner. That is a good thing.
It's the
Wish I
Mad
had
King.
What? No, gross. I'm talking about food. That wasn't.
That's a different feast.
Yeah, and we've been together too long for me to keep doing that.
What's the cutoff like?
3
Is there-
dates.
It's like because obviously there's on the female side there's the cutoff. Usually the joke is once the vows have been said.
Yeah, that's why you never get married.
that ends. I know Brahma is.
I know. I thought about that. We had this exact conversation.
All right. Do you want me to? I'll go ahead. I'll terminate it on your channel then.
Oh, okay, sure.
He wants to keep the broadcast hours up on his side.
I mean, I don't want you to have to double up on hitting in broadcast. Because that way you can just do it all at once. I don't want to
Okay.
put
Well, I
that burden
usually
on you.
clip out the after show on my channel.
I'm not doing it for mine.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we run the after show a little lighter today, just because I can't.
You sound tired.
There's 9 a.m. Little League.
We had
games
baseball
crush me.
Saturday.
What? Are you capping?
Mad doesn't
Yes,
have.
Mad has a channel. It's Mad's new channel.
No, Mad doesn't have a channel. He has multiple channels.
The channel.
And there's one that you should go to, which is Ascendant Art, and subscribe to it.
All right. That was smooth. I'll give you that. But do not listen to him. He is lying.
All right, man.
All right.
But if I say no cap,
oh, then it has to be the truth.
Yeah, because it's for real, for real.
Yes. I'm
don't
out.
be
Bye, guys.
Delulu.
Later.
You can end it on mine if you need to.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Bye, guys.
I'm just not responsible for what takes your channel down.
You know what? Let's just go ahead and end it on mine. I will do that myself.
Because most of our claims come from the after show.
Yep.
All right, bye, guys.
Later, man. No, but I haven't. It's like the pollen. I have seasonal allergies, and the pollen's been ridiculous the last couple weeks. And then you filter in like time, like early. So like we had that little game. So it starts at 9. So you got to be there like an hour before to do warm ups and get the field ready and everything when it's the first game of the day.
Right.
So
set up the bases.
So that means we got to be
the
there.
Chalk lines too?
No. But we had to. But we did have to. We have like a fake mound,
right?
That we have to set up and put out and measure and all that. On the plus side, our team won like 17-2, which is good.
No mercy rule.
The mercy rule is 15, but the last inning ended with us up 17-2, so it would have ended either way, but we hit the time limit.
Oh, okay.
Which was 2 hours.
Did they do the mercy inning as well, where it's like you can
5
only score 5 runs an inning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny because I don't remember having anything like that as a child. If you got beat, you just got beat into the ground.
It's
they may have had a timer on it.
No,
but
actually,
not a mercy rule of any
it's
kind.
It's not a mercy for the 5 runs. It's literally just to keep the game moving. Because we're in the minor league level of Little League, where it's kid pitch, but it's the first level of kid pitch. So by the next level, they get rid of that. You can score. You score as many runs until 3 outs get made. Right, that it gets gone. But at this level, when kids are first learning to pitch, it's just these kids are so wild and out of control.
Right,
you could have an inning that never ends. If so it's just a matter of, it's not so much mercy as just moving the game along so kids get experience.
Yeah.
The mercy rule is if you're up by 15 or more and the team doesn't score runs, then they'll call the game.
By like the 3rd inning. I mean,
yeah.
So in Colorado, for at least softball side of it, there was like a scale where it was like, if you're up by this much after the 3rd inning, it's a mercy rule. By the 4th inning, that number changes. I mean, they tried to get him over earlier, and that was in freaking high school. That's not in a regular league. That's the high school rules, is that you have mercy rules. I don't think I saw more than 2 games the whole time my daughter played softball, varsity softball, that went to the full length of a game. One team or the other got mercied every time.
Yeah.
We just didn't do that when we were little. But we also, the thing is, unless you're doing like a traveling team, and most of the traveling team players don't play on their high school because they actually get better experience on the traveling team than they do playing for their high school. Most of these kids have not even played the sport until they become a 7th, 8th grader or a freshman. And that's the first introduction to the sport, which is crazy to me because we were playing I played t-ball in like kindergarten and 1st grade. We played basketball for a church league in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. And then nowadays, if you don't look outside of the school, like they don't start sports until middle school. There is no elementary sports, which we had. We had the it's like Colorado High School Sports Association, but it had things underneath it that went all the way down to like 5th grade. So your normal start was 5th grade. So by 8th grade, when you're at the top of junior high or middle school, you at least knew the rules and could actually play to a degree. It wasn't freshman team, you're starting to learn what the absolute basics are of this sport. Because that's insane to me.
Yeah, I think the way that, at least the way our league does it, the mercy rule would have to, you're like you said, you have a 2-hour time limit in these games. The most it could go is 6 innings anyway. So for the mercy rule to kick in, you'd have to have maxed out the run scoring for 3+ innings.
Sure.
Without the other team scoring any run. Logistically, at that point, you're pretty close to the time limit anyway. So you just are going to you call it at that point, because scoring 5 runs an inning usually takes a good chunk of time. At this level, there's a lot of walks.
Depends on the skill level, because, you also get some of those situations where it's a walk and then that turns into a home run because everybody's overthrowing everything.
Yeah, we've had that happen because we have our guys go if the pitcher doesn't get back to the mound on a walk.
Yeah.
We take 2.
And then most kids don't know to cover the other bases from other positional spots. It's very rare that the pitcher is going to be backing up any of the other spots, like home plate or first base.
Yeah, so
because
that's
they
one of
just don't know. They just I'm the pitcher. I stay on the mound.
Well, yeah, we work on that an awful lot with our teams. And there was one moment in a game, we ended up losing this game, but it was the catcher. It's a pass ball. There's a runner.
Nobody goes and covers.
There's a runner on first and third.
Right.
The catcher gets the pass ball.
And then he throws the second instead of holding off the
runner.
The
the pitcher has crashed to home plate like he should.
Okay.
To be able to field the ball if the runner goes when the catcher got it from the backstop. The catcher has walked back up to home plate and instead of handing the ball to the pitcher, sees the runner going from first towards second. The runner at third is already halfway leading off down.
Right.
And
so he
you
sees
see
the run to try to get the guy at second because he sees somebody stealing, and the only thing that fires in his brain is there's somebody going from first to second.
And it's one of those things where when you're seeing it happen, it's almost happening in slow motion. And the entire bench, all of the coaches, because I'm one of the coaches, all of our coaches in unison at once were like, "Don't throw the ball."
Right.
And you see his arm just go back, and then the ball sail towards
into
second
outfield.
So immediately the runner from third is going right into home plate. So there's 1 run scored. And then of course we had to the second baseman's credit, he ran over to cover the base, but the ball just sailed and went into center field. So then the guy rounds second and is going into third. Then
you continue the calamity of errors.
For the ungodly reason, the center fielder throws it into third, skips the cutoff man.
And doesn't try to throw it home. He throws it to third.
He just tries to throw it to third. And because he skipped the cutoff man, the runner's already rounding third when our third baseman, who was again covering the bag, but the throw was so wildly off, he comes off the bag, and I give the third baseman credit. He fielded it.
He at least caught the ball.
But he's 6 feet off the bag now, and the runner's already rounding third now and a quarter of the way home. And so he tries to throw it home, and it's just a bad throw at that point. And so the guy scores. So, yep.
Yeah.
The entire bases are all cleared. 2-run score because of that bad throw.
That's youth baseball at some levels.
Yep.
I was a catcher. If you had first and third, the steal of second was basically free. The pitcher could try to keep him on, but most pitchers couldn't be trusted to throw to first to try to pick off. But there was not a chance in hell I'd be throwing to try to catch a steal at second with anybody on third. Your arm is not good enough at that point, even if you're a pretty good catcher. Never is your arm good enough to get it to second and back to home before that guy on third can get there. So it was just we'll concede that steal from first to second.
Yeah, we reiterated, because here the fun part is we had been coaching them that the entire season. It don't make the throw to second. If you're the catcher, third base, if you've got the guy, yes, you can make if you're in a get him into a pickle or something, you can make the throw to third, and you can go back and forth between you and the third baseman to get the guy out. But you absolutely don't don't ever make that throw to second.
Not to second. The other play that was actually very good for us a few times was, you've got the guy on first taking too big of a lead off because he knows I'm not going to throw to second. So the pitch comes in immediately, snap throw to first for the tag. That's first to home is much easier to do to catch somebody trying to come from third than, of course, second to home. So you can snap play to first to try to catch the too big of a lead off, and then they either get him or they don't, and immediately throw it back home to stop the guy coming in from third.
Yeah, at this level, we have our guys. I usually have them go about.
That's not happening.
I have them almost to the second like a little bit before the second baseman for their lead. Like every time, I'm like at first is like because we have to wait. The one downside is you have to wait for the ball to cross home plate to be able to take your lead off. You can't leave early. Again, it's minor.
So it's more like softball rules.
Yeah, and so I coach our guys like, as soon as the ball crosses the plate, you're taking the lead where you're about a little over a quarter to halfway, somewhere between there to the next base, and you watch how the ball goes, because more often than not in this level, they screw up the pitcher to catcher exchange, like where the catcher throws and the pitcher can't handle the throwback and drops it, and
Right.
You can go there. Or if, like what you're talking about, if that catcher tries to throw to first, I'm just yelling go take two, because the odds at this level of the first baseman catching it clean, and
or
then
making a clean throw to second,
and then making a clean throw to second, and having someone covering the bag proper to be able to field said throw and apply a tag because it's not a force out.
Right.
You just play the percentages. Odds are that ball's getting dropped. We had a couple games back. We had a runner on third, and it was the other team, and this time it was the reverse of my situation. The coach actually yells at the pitcher, because our guy keeps taking the lead off third. If he does that again, pick him off, throw to third base, from the pitcher mount, from the pitcher. And I'm just in my head like, that's a bad idea, buddy. I don't know what level you think this game is, but all right, let's see how this goes. So we see the guy, he's doing his lead. The pitcher then immediately, and the pitcher goes to gun it like he's throwing a friggin' like four-seam fastball to the guy at third, and it just sails right past him.
Mm-hmm.
And then our guy who was at third trots in, and our guy who was on second promptly scores too. And I'm just like, and then we win the game in a walk-off because it was the bottom. We were tied, we were down a run. So that first one tied it, and that second one won us the game. I was like, woohoo, game's over. Thanks.
It's so painful watching that level of baseball and softball, though. Especially like in my daughter's case, where it was high school, varsity, she had played a few years before she got to high school. So she knew some of the stuff, and she was also a catcher because I worked on her with that, because that was the position I knew, and it's an easy one to try out for if there's not a whole bunch of people that have ever played catcher or done any of it before. So she made varsity as a freshman and was basically the starting catcher the whole year. And yeah, it's so painful watching a whole bunch of people who are supposed to be at the highest level of the sport at high school not knowing how to do any of it. It's like, what are we doing? We haven't taught our kids how to play sports at all.
Yeah, I would expect.
But it's also
more.
so expensive to do like the traveling teams and stuff, and you actually have to try out for those. So, I mean, the park and rec, there's not enough people volunteering to help do the park and rec type leagues. So, I don't know, but I think you got to get back to church leagues and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, at least with baseball around here, it's a pretty popular sport. So by the time, honestly, even the majors level of Little League is pretty solid at that point. And then once you get to the travel teams and the all-star teams, they're loaded.
Right.
They know how to play.
But
And
then
so,
they don't go back and play for their high schools because
No,
they're
they
paying to play on the travel teams.
Well, no, not in
and
baseball.
they're typically year round.
No, but you still play. No, the travel teams function like you go spring ball, then you do your all-star or travel team. After that, then you do fall ball. Then you'll go into, and the spring league ball is after what would have been the high school term ends, because it doesn't overlap. But honestly, I there's a little, I like to diversify. I have my son play. He does baseball in the spring and fall ball, but then I have him do basketball in the winter, so he's not doing a travel team and blowing his arm out or doing anything. I remember going back in the 90s with my brother. He was a pretty serious baseball player. They got to the state championships. They were a really good team, and there were guys getting elbow surgery like junior year of high school because they were like the good pitchers. Yeah. They were throwing them out there 90 to 100 pitches a game, like game after game. Like you were starting the same guy. You didn't switch out.
Right.
They started putting rules against that after that because we started blowing kids' arms out in high school. Because they would, if they were the best.
What's the name of the famous surgery that pitchers?
Tommy John.
Haven't they now said that Tommy John is actually good to have that surgery done now? It actually strengthens the arm when you come back?
No. You can come back and be as effective for the most part after Tommy John, but it's not better. It's the reason most guys need Tommy John is because they're doing like an inverted W release point with their elbow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to eventually, it blows out the ligament. But the reason you do that is because that mechanic will deliver a much higher velocity baseball.
Right.
But Tommy John takes 2 seasons to fully come back. And your velocity is usually diminished. You can come back eventually to doing the same level of work count, innings, and pitch count wise, but you usually lose several miles per hour off your throw post Tommy John.
Right. I think they should all just slip and fall and snap their shoulder. So
Rookie of the Year style.
Perfectly.
Yeah, the ligaments, they healed up a little tight.
Yep.
That one gets Sandlot kind of sucks up all the love from
the
that era.
Nostalgia from that era.
And rightly so. Sandlot was a more fun movie, except for Daniel Stern as the pitching coach. I invented something. I took ice and I put it in a microwave. I call it hot ice. Instead of icy hot, this is my creation. No, and then there was also Little Big League where the kid inherited the team.
Right.
Which is also a problem because Timothy Busfield was in that one, and now he's of questionable nature with young ladies. So
don't know who that is.
He was the redheaded guy from who played first base in Little Big League. The one who dated the mother.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie since it came out.
He was in Field of Dreams. He was the brother-in-law who worked for the bank.
Oh, from 30-something?
Yes.
Or was it Life Goes On?
It was 30-something. He was in 30-something.
Yeah. Angels in the Infield is great with Patrick Warburton.
That would be the sequel to Angels
Everything
in
with
the Outfield.
Patrick Warburton is great.
Yep.
Did you ever see the one? It's like a weird comedy. I'm trying to remember the name of it, where It's almost like a Guy Ritchie thing, but it had Jason Lee in it. It had Sofia Vergara. It had Patrick Warburton.
Was it Tim Allen as well in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. I was at the theater when it came out.
Yeah.
It was almost,
I like that one. I can't remember the name of it though.
That was when they were trying to do those irreverent. It was supposed to be like almost like a Get Shorty type thing, where it was a heist comedy thing, where
but
like
with complete idiots.
Yeah,
I mean, they did the whole thing with, well, are we arriving at the airport or are we departing? Because we're trying to leave.
That was
Big Trouble. Yeah. Where they had the toad, basically the Hypno Toad.
Yep.
And Patrick Warburton, I think he was playing a cop, but they're driving to the airport and they hit a goat and it flips over the car and lands back on its feet. And Patrick Warburton's like, was that a goat? His deadpan delivery is some of the best stuff we got out of that whole time period. He was the perfect deadpan delivery. Never really said anything all that hilarious, but the way he did it made it worth it. And him as the Tick was fantastic.
He was nigh invulnerable.
What else should we talk about?
I mean, we've got Mandalorian Grogu getting curb stomped.
Trounced by both movies. Didn't Backrooms do much better than anticipated as well?
Yeah,
something like double what they thought it was.
Yeah, they thought it was like original tracking on it was like 20 million. Then they thought it was. Then it started spiking. They thought 40 million, and it ended up making 81 million for the domestic weekend.
Which no movies are growing that quickly right now. Like you could have a movie that should have been at about 100 million, making 100 million, but you don't have one that's projected at 20 million, suddenly making 80, without a ton of internet interest for the most part, word of mouth. I have no interest in seeing it. I would not be surprised if there's a major drop off, because I think the people that would go see it probably went and saw it because they were the ones that were super excited about it.
Yeah, that's it. We talked about, I think, on the Friday show, where it's got that weird like cult background for it.
Yeah, if you don't know all the background, the movie's not gonna do a whole lot for you.
I think Obsession is the much better movie.
I think everybody's been saying that, and then I've seen just a couple random people go like, "This movie was crap." I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. But
the girl in Obsession.
There's some people that really hate it, and then there's a ton of people that say they loved it.
I straight up think the girl from Obsession should get nominated for an Oscar. Like, her performance is
for her crazy eyes and stuff.
Well, not just like the role calls for her to be like kind of ping ponging back and forth, personality wise, as she's being influenced by the wish, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was a great performance. I mean, when I did the initial review a few weeks back, and another thing I remember, Slender was like, "What the hell is Obsession?" I was like, "It's this little low budget horror movie. It's just well acted. It's well put together, but those things are entertaining, and they've always been entertaining."
Yeah, I did see somebody on Twitter say, "Worst first date movie ever."
Obsession. I don't know if I'd bring it as a first date movie.
If you didn't know what it was about, it gets a little awkward. Well, you saw it, right?
Obsession, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Worth seeing in theater, or just wait?
I mean, at this point, because it's become kind of part of the cultural zeitgeist kind of thing, I would say that's what made it. Nothing about the way the film is put together requires it to be seen in a theater. It's not so. It doesn't have huge action scenes. It doesn't have anything, but it is something that has now become part of the kind of discussion, like the water cooler discussion of the country. So
right,
that's kind of what elevates it. I mean, I know this week there's Scary Movie's going to be opening. Master of the Universe is opening.
Yeah.
I've already convinced Slender. I've got him set up because we're going to go to one of the earlier Wednesday shows that they added.
Yeah.
So that we can talk about it. I think Scary
and
Movie
that was the
ends
other
up,
big news. They basically are kicking Mandalorian and Grogu out of the IMAX.
Yeah, so there
was supposed to be a 3-week run, and IMAX basically said, "No, we're done with it. He-Man's going in."
No, so there are, when you do theater contracts, generally there's requirements where you have to carry films in a theater for so long. There are performance requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah, so an example of this that came up when I was at the theater was Charlie's Angels 2, the sequel to Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be
That's
this
why it
really
has the 2.
Yeah, it was the. Well, I think technically the name of it was Full Throttle.
Sure.
It was supposed to be booked. It was gonna allegedly be one of the biggest movies of the summer. So the studio had worked out a deal for it to be in our largest screen for 3 weeks. Because even though it was the summer, the other stuff opening wasn't as big at that point. I think it was in
Not
June.
considered blockbuster.
Not as big as what this one was supposed to be doing. It opened up and it absolutely was nose diving. And so we didn't just want to get it out of that theater like 3 weeks from now. We wanted to get it out of that theater that weekend.
Right.
And I remember our regional booker had basically to call us up, and they were working with our GM to get the performance numbers like real time as much as possible. And there was a threshold it hit. It was about Saturday afternoon, where once the numbers had solidified enough that we got the call, and that within a couple hours the schedule was altered and we were moving that into a smaller theater. And it was because it had hit the clauses where it was no longer performing.
And that was still back when you actually had to go buy tickets, right?
Yep.
At the ticket window. So it's not like somebody had selected seats and was like, nope, that's not the theater anymore. I kind of miss the days where you actually had to plan out to see a movie and not just go online and select a seat.
Assigned seating.
The mad rush to figure out where you were going to sit.
I hated that. We had having to go in and actually seat people. So my favorite part was the movie theaters, we would never sell out a theater at 100%, because that way madness lies.
Right.
Because there's issues.
There's people sneaking in and you can't figure out which one doesn't actually have a ticket.
So, yep. So we would always, depending on the size of the theater, could be anywhere from 20 to 40 seats left open at the cutoff. Like the 40 seat threshold was for our 550 seat screen. This was old theater seating, so you got way more seats in those ones.
Recliners.
No, it's the little flip down old fashioned
like stadium
seats.
Seating and at sporting events.
Yeah,
where it's stacked on top of each other.
Exactly, and so that's why we had so many more seats in that. But you knew,
I remember,
but you knew that people would be sneaking in, using the exit doors, all sorts of shit,
or that certain people were trying to sit with their own family, and depending on where, if you had some open seats, then you might be able to sit 3 across or 4 across instead of having to go 2 different aisles or 2 different rows.
Yep.
Which I never had a problem with doing the 2 behind, 2 in front type setup back before the assigned seating.
No, so that's also back when that's when you had to deal with lines forming to get into the theater, because people were worried about getting good seats. So anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour before the showtime, you'd start having the people lining up.
Yeah.
For that theater, for that showtime.
So that you could not play 30 minutes of ads, but maybe 5 to 10 minutes of ads, it seemed like back then. It was like trailers only. I mean, there wasn't.
I mean, you want to talk about
lights go down, you see the trailers, go straight into movie. No,
you want to. I mean, you want to talk about
Nicole
crazy.
Kidman coming out and talking to you for 10 minutes about how great cinema is.
When Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King opened, our theater had 18 screens, and at midnight we were syncing 15 of them. What that means is we had like 3 copies of the movie.
Right.
And we were running it so that those 3 copies were being spread across 15 screens. So each copy was running 5 screens. And you had to attach, that's when you actually had to attach enough what's called leader, which was not film, like clear, kind of like film stocky part. And you would thread it.
You would do a reel in one movie or one theater, and then you
were
running to the other theater.
So we had a platter system, So you'd thread it, right? You'd thread it from the platter all the way through the projector, and then you'd have pulleys in the ceiling where when you were doing this, you would be able to keep threading it to the next projector and then thread it through, go to the pulleys in the ceiling and keep repeating all the way to the point where once you've done the final projector, that's the one where the film winds onto by the end. And it was just a pain. It was, in addition to being a pain in the ass to actually do that, for that you had to turn the projectors into a synchronized mode where they would be knowing which one was the initial projector and running the show. And God help you if it got a problem in any one of those projectors, because now you're not just screwing up one theater's worth of people that you have to fix. You've got like a half dozen.
Right.
And, it was crazy.
Jim's asking if I'm still working on the Weller Antique. Actually, this was my first pour of the night because I've been drinking tea during the main show. Yes, the Weller is soldier down. So I'm pretty proud that I've only had the one on the stream tonight. Well, having the first one, 3 hours in.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty. You have you definitely cut back on some of that consumption.
I have, but I'm also feeling it because about 5-6 o'clock, I'm getting the shakes. So I'm trying to taper off because I've got a few withdrawal symptoms that are rather annoying. So I'm gonna have to do a 1 to 2 week liquor fast, but I am tapering it down rather than going cold turkey because it's been like 3 years of almost every night having 2 to 3 drinks. So
yeah, the liver's definitely been putting its work in.
I take a lot of stuff for the liver, a lot of supplements.
What do you think is the best one to help with that?
The one I'm taking right now is called Pure Leah. It's milk thistle, NAC, dandelion, artichoke, and glutathione. You just take, it's a liquid one, so it fast absorption. Liver doesn't seem to be having any issues.
Well, that's good.
But, like I said, you can not necessarily be an alcoholic and still get withdrawal symptoms from alcohol. Like, I don't wake up needing a drink. I have a drink at 8 o'clock when we start the show, usually. And then I have 2 more through the night. If we go really late, maybe a 4th. But your body does get used to it. And then you can go through some withdrawal symptoms. And withdrawal from alcohol is incredibly dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Like, more deadly than withdrawing from other things. Shakes, well, seizures, hallucinations. So I'm just taking stock and tapering down a little bit. I'm doing 1 drink tonight. I started this taper down last Wednesday or Thursday, where it's like, all right, I went from 4 or 5 drinks to 3 to 2. Tonight I'm at 1. And then what I'll probably do is a couple days of just having a beer instead of having 50% alcohol drinks, because that's really where the problem is. Bourbon is high alcohol content. It's not having, a 6 pack of beer. 6 pack of beer doesn't equal one of these. So
most regular domestic beer is like a 2.5
5%.
Oh, is it 5%? I thought that was the harder level.
Well, I mean, if you go to a liquor store, you're getting 5.2%. If you go to a gas station in most states, you're getting 2%. So, and at most baseball games and sporting events, it's more like 8%. They actually give you stronger liquor or stronger beer at most sporting events than you can actually get in the store. It's kind of a weird thing. That's also why they cut off beer sales in like
so early, seventh inning,
third period, fourth period or fourth quarter.
By the way, what's the general mood about the Avalanche from the fan base side?
Well, the general mood is that they will maybe fire Bednar, but I don't know that they're going to, because I don't know who you get to replace him that's going to do anything better. The players love him. I think the general mood is we're going to probably retain 12 to 13 of the 18 players that you keep on a roster and run it back the best you can. But there's a few players who actually played themselves out of the ability to stay here unless they Jack Drury, he's either going to get a huge pay increase based on his performance, and he's playing our fourth line. He could be on a second line on most teams. So he's probably gone just because that's in his best interest. There's a few players like that. I don't think we bring back the oldest player in the NHL, Brett Burns, even though Burns is going for the all-time Ironman streak next year. That's not a concern for us. We want the cup. Me personally, after that bad of a collapse, I don't even know if I care to watch anymore. I mean, what is you go through 82 games in the regular season. Is it worth devoting that much time during the regular season to watch the regular season when all that really matters is a month and a half to 2 months at the end of the season? Our team is good enough that I don't have to worry about us making the playoffs.
That's not the goal the fan base wants anymore.
Right. I mean, we're in a window where the playoffs are already going to happen for us. So it's boring to watch something for 8 or 9 months to then, crap out in a month short of the goal, because that is the only goal for our team.
It's kind of like being a Yankees fan. When a lot of times, like when the GM will be like, "Well, we're making the playoffs," is like that's not the expectation around here. Like you've got a window, and you've got to win one like every 10 years at a minimum.
Yeah. And we've got like a 5-year window continued from this, because we've got everybody. Makar will sign the extension. We're going to give him the money. McKinnon's already signed. I think he might trade Natchez or Nelson, even though you got Natchez in that Rantanen deal. He disappeared in the playoffs. So did Brock Nelson Brock Nelson disappeared after the Olympics. So, I mean, do you keep them around? But who do you get as a better 2C? Because we were searching for 3 or 4 years for a second line center. That's what Brock Nelson is. So I think for the most part, we run it back. We get rid of about 6 players that are probably going to price themselves out due to free agency. We'll give Drury an offer sheet because he's a restricted free agent. But I don't expect that we're going to be able to match what anybody else will give him. So he's probably gone. Burns is gone. I would like to see probably Nichushkin gone.
Does the NHL have in their cap one of those things like basketball where if it's signing a hometown player and keeping them, there's a certain amount of that you can defer on the cap hit?
I don't think so.
The NBA called it the Larry Bird rule, right? That they can give super max contracts. They are allowed to pay more than what would otherwise be the maximum under the cap to keep their players in the city and away from unrestricted free agency.
No, I don't believe there's anything to that effect. It's literally just the cap is the cap. Deal with it.
Yep. As opposed
figure out a way to get under it. I mean, back in the day in hockey, I mean, it's a pretty famous story. One of the ways that they kept Joe Sakic when he came up in on free agency was they actually gave him money from a movie being produced by somebody connected to the ownership of the team that was aside from his regular salary to be able to match the amounts that he was being offered by other teams to not leave. So like a Hollywood movie is what kept Sakic in Colorado. And the link to it. I can't remember which one it is. We'll have to look it up sometime. It's a story you might find very interesting because of the link to Hollywood. But I think they did a 30 for 30 on it or something like that. But it was like keeping Sakic in Colorado. But they were doing all kinds of weird stuff back in the day before the salary cap was instituted. Because you could offer anybody as much as you wanted.
Yeah, and that's where you get those fun stories, at least in baseball, of like Bobby Bonilla Day. Yeah. Where they gave him this huge contract, but they deferred it so they didn't have to pay it all at once.
Right, and then you end up paying for like the next 30 years.
Yeah, so every, I forget what day, I think it's like in June, July. It'll be Bobby Bonilla Day, and he'll get his check for like, he hasn't played,
18, 19 years at least.
For like a couple decades. He's still getting his like $2 million a year check.
Right, which is ridiculous. Well, everybody, Chad's exhausted. I'm also getting there. I know it's not as long as we usually go, but I think we're going to call it there. We've already talked about what we got coming up, so check out Ascendant Art. And
it's like June out on the East Coast, so I guess happy Pride Month, people.
Yeah, happy Pride Month, everybody.
Let your flags fly and see how that goes.
Also, if everybody that is still here could leave a comment, any comment, talk about anything that we asked tonight or said tonight, or ask us a question for the after show next week. Anything. All of it gets us into the algorithm. We've been doing a good job of getting into the algorithm. I've been using AI to kind of rewrite the descriptions, and that's been popping us into the algorithm. We're trying to grow the show. Anything you guys can do would help. Comments, hit the like. I know it's all the things that all YouTubers ask, and I avoided it for years and years, really. But it would be nice to get us up to the 1,000 sub spot. And comments really are one of the biggest ways, like after the stream is done. So I read them all. You can watch me hit like on them and the little channel owner heart thing on almost every single one of them, unless you're a crazy leftist. So if you could, would appreciate it. But we are at the 3-hour mark in 15 seconds. So
yay, 3 hours.
Hope everybody has a great night. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Thank you for sticking around with us. Hope everybody had a great night. Hope everybody has a great week. And let's go into June.
Yep.
Fighting what's about to come in June. So take it easy, everybody.